come young and strong, hearts united we belong. हिम्मत से हौसले से आगे बढ़े अपनी राह पे. No fear, no doubt, we break through. हर मुश्किल का हल है तू. Stay patient, push ahead. With hope and strength we'll be led. SYM, let's go. Feel the power, let it rain. Optimism, dreams take flight. हम मिलके चमकेंगे bright.
What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing? Woo! Let's go. Welcome to SYM 2026 March edition, right? Now, before we get started, let's give a big round of applause to the Bhajan Mandir for kicking us off. Who remembers the last SYM we had, the most recent one, the theme? Who remembers the theme? Anyone? No one? Come on! I got candy. Breakthrough versus breakdown. Who's got it? All right. How about the one before that? Which one? What was it? Weightless experience. Wrong. How to get rich. All right. We got some winners. Let's throw some out here. All right. Does anyone remember the 5 types of wealth? No? Physical? Okay, good. Mental? Okay, now people are talking. Very good. Social? Very good. What else? Financial, of course. Spiritual? Okay, we got one more. Man, this guy's collecting all of them. Spiritual is the 6th one. Very good. How about the first topic, the first SYM of the year? Who remembers that one? Day 1 versus 1 day. Wow, very good. Give him a round of applause. All right. How's everyone feeling this past week, this past month? With the war going on, oil prices going up. How are you feeling? How are the stress levels? 1 to 10 fingers. 10. Oh man. Hopefully it's less than 5. Hopefully. But I feel you. You know what stresses me out or what bothers me a lot? How many of us have gone on social media, be it YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and after just 2 minutes of going on these platforms, you feel worse about yourself? How many of us have felt that? I definitely have. Okay, good. Everyone's raising their hands now. It could be a friend from high school. He just started a business, right? Or it's one of our closest friends. He just got promoted at his company, and he just started working like 2 years ago. Or it could be our cousin, and he's been on this amazing vacation he just went on. And you're just thinking to yourself, what am I doing with my life? How many of us have felt that way? I definitely have. Just recently, the past 2 weeks, I've been listening to this new audiobook. It's called The Kaizen Way. And the Kaizen Way is this Japanese concept, and it means small steps equals big outcomes. And I've been listening to it, and I thought, this sounds really familiar. It really connects with what I've been thinking about. Small steps. Doorbell. What's that? Pizza. Thank you. Looks like you took one out of the box yourself. Pizza. Nothing better than Domino's pizza on a Saturday night. Let's see what we got. All right. It's not the black olives that I like, but it's this. It's a domino. And on this domino, it says thought. And it all starts with this one domino, one thought. Tonight, this SYM, we're going to be talking about the domino effect and how everything starts with one step, one thought in this case. And that one thought, it leads us to take action. And when we take action over and over and over again, those become our habits. And when we develop these habits, they become our mindset, our lifestyle, and they completely transform who we are. And it all starts with one thought. So without further ado, let's welcome Atit Bhai and Ashish Bhai to share more on the domino effect on our thoughts. by plan.
So, as Samanvay mentioned, today we're here to talk about the domino effect of one thought. But let's dive a little deeper into that. Today we're going to talk about the domino effect of one positive thought versus the domino effect of one negative thought. And before we do that, let's talk about our day-to-day, how we feel. Samanvay mentioned that we feel stress, we feel
Hold
fatigue.
on. Oh, guys, come to the side. Ooh, Atit bhai, oh my god, dude, I am so sorry I'm late, dude. Oh, I have had a wild day, man. First of all, I spilled coffee on myself this morning. I completely, missed my alarm, and then the battery to this mic wasn't working, and, man, dude, my head is just crazy right now, dude.
It's okay.
Sorry
it's okay.
about...
Just breathe.
Breathe?
Breathe.
Okay.
Okay. You good?
I think I'm feeling better now.
Okay.
Thanks, Atit bhai.
Good. How many of us have had one of those days where we wake up past our alarms, then we're rushing to get ready. In the process, you want breakfast, and then you spill coffee. Then you're rushing outside your home, you forget your phone, wallet, keys, laptop, whatever it is. Then you get stuck in traffic. And it just becomes a constant chain reaction of events that occurred during the day. If we think about it, from the beginning, it kind of set the tone for how your day goes. It feels like everything just keeps going wrong. Well, what do all of these situations have in common? They all stemmed from one thought. That one thought led to one moment, and that one moment led to one action. The thought of, I'm stressed, I'm rushing, I don't know how my day's gonna go. That's a constant back thought that we constantly keep in the back of our minds for every situation scenario for the rest of that day. And we carry it forward. But before we go more into that, I want to ask you, what happens if I push just one domino? What happens? The next domino falls. The domino after that will fall. And the dominoes will keep falling until the line is done. Well, similarly, our thoughts react the same way. It's a chain reaction. One thought can start a chain reaction that shapes our mindset. Thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to habits, and habits shape our lifestyle. But, a lot of the times we think that circumstances is what shapes our habits, our lifestyles. But in reality, it's our thoughts that shape our lifestyle, our habits, and our day-to-day actions.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Atit bhai, because this actually reminded me of a story from the 1990s. There once, about 30, 35 years ago, there's a trader. His name was Nick Leeson. He was working at Barings Bank. It's over a 200-year-old bank. It was very well known. And he was early on in his career, he was very successful. He was making the bank a lot of money. However, one day he made a mistake. He made a trade where he lost a bit of money. So then he got one thought that, I think I can fix this. I just have to make sure, I just hide this. That was the first domino. What happened then is that, all right, I can recover this loss by doing another trade. So he did one trade, he lost more money. Then he did another trade, another trade, another trade. And what did that lead to? That led to a complete collapse of the Barings Bank. As we saw right here, right in this graphic, the final result, there's a total collapse in today's valuation, $3.2 billion. If you think about that, right, that was just one thought that, hey, I need to hide this because there's this fear. What will my superiors tell me? What will my colleagues tell me? And out of that one thought, that led to a complete collapse of over a 200-year-old institution. And if you think about this, Atit bhai, it wasn't because, he wanted to commit a crime. It's not like he was being greedy or anything like that. It was just one thought. I need to hide this. One thought in the moment may not feel that dangerous, right? Because there's so many thoughts coming, right? But if left unchecked, it can truly cause a chain reaction, right? If we ask everyone here, right, has anyone ever gotten a thought that has, potentially sort of just changed their whole day, their whole mood, right? It could be something simple as, I wish I did better on the exam last week. I wish I got that promotion in January. Or, you might have got in an argument in the beginning of the day that might have, completely, set the tone for the day. So, that sort of is the cascade, right? However, the good news is that this cascade, this domino effect, is actually, it goes both ways. That blade cuts both ways. Just like how a thought can completely collapse, in a big financial institution.
Just like how a negative thought can do that, one positive thought can build something incredible. And this actually reminds me of a story of a man named Blake Mykowski. Now, in 2006, Blake Mykowski was traveling in Argentina. And while he was there, he noticed something. Children were walking around without shoes. Now, at first, this was just an observation. But then he had one thought. What if I could help? Now, that thought could have easily surpassed. He could have easily said, not my problem. Yeah, somebody else will help. Or, I'm one person. I can't make a difference. But Blake Mykowski held on to that one thought. He took that thought, and when he came back to the States, he turned that thought into one moment or one action. Then he asked himself, what if, for every pair of shoes I sell, I give one away? In doing that, he turned that one moment, one thought, into one action, and that one action led him to creating a company, which is now a multi-billion-dollar global company. Now, does anyone know or have an idea of who I'm talking about? Well, now you do. It's Tom's. Many of us are familiar with Tom's Shoe Wear, right? Blake Mykowski is the founder of Tom's Shoe Wear. And it's amazing because this company was founded on one thought. What if I can help a child? That one idea became a movement, and that one company impacted millions. Today, over 100 million pairs of shoes have been donated worldwide, and it's inspired other companies to do the same. But if we backtrack, these shoes weren't just there to help protect the children's feet. It gave those children confidence, opportunity, and education. One positive thought can create a ripple effect beyond our imagination. But this isn't just about big stories like Blake Mykowski and Nick Leeson. Things like this, thoughts like this occur for us every single day.
You're absolutely right, Atitbhai. We often, if we just go to the next slide and slide after that. Next slide. Right, so there's a lot of common thoughts that we get, right? Such as, I didn't do well in the exam. But maybe we can flip that thought into an action, such as, maybe I can reach out to the student that's doing really well in that class, right? Or maybe go to office hours, right? So I can, improve my grades as well. Maybe we didn't get that promotion in January. Well, that's what we have a manager for. He can give us feedback. Or maybe I got in an argument earlier in the day. Well, I can always apologize and, next time try to put myself in the other person's perspective, which can help promote more healthier conversations. But, Atitbhai, if we think about this, right, this concept of saying I can't to, sort of flipping that narrative to I can or I can't, I can or I will, that actually tricks the mind, right? Right now, my mind is controlling me. But just by flipping this narrative, just by flipping these words, it can actually allow me to control my mind. We might not be able to control all these thousands of thoughts that we get, right? But we might be able to control which thoughts stay. For example, I could think, about gratitude, like how grateful I am, right? I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my source of income. I'm grateful for my family and friends. Aditbhai, what are you grateful for?
Well, for starters, look where we're sitting today. Where we're sitting today is the domino effect of what occurred over 70 years ago. Back in 1954, in a sabha conducted by Yogiji Maharaj, he always used to emphasize back then, कि આપણે युवकोની સભા ચાલુ કરવી છે. And in that sabha, happened to be Swamiji, who at that time was known as Prabhu Das Bhai. Prabhu Das Bhai took Yogi Baba's thought. He took his one sankalp and he drove it forward. In doing so, Prabhu Das Bhai took Diksha, who we now know as Param Puja Hari Prasad Swamiji. From there, he did countless vicharan across the world, touching the lives of thousands of youths, which resulted in this domino effect. One mission, a growing number of mandirs, not just within North America, but across the globe, hundreds of weekly sabhas, and tens and thousands of youths. That is the power of one positive thought, and that is the domino effect of one positive thought. Now, since we're on this topic of, what's that thought that keeps us going? Ashish Bhai, what's that one thought that keeps you going?
Yeah, that's it's a good thing that you ask. That one thought actually stemmed from a conversation I had with Guru Prabodh Swamiji in 2017 in Boston, 4th of July weekend. So Prabodh Swami had come to Boston then for Vichran, and there was a sabha in a house. After the sabha, there was a meeting on the second floor. So all the vadilo and leaders were there, and one by one, they were calling all the yuoko to join that meeting on the second floor. So, I see everyone, go upstairs. 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, and I'm the only one sitting down on the first floor. Nobody called me. I think all of us have felt some level of loneliness, right? Some sort of, being left out, right? That was me. And I was thinking like, man, these guys always leave me out, right? I'm the only American in Boston. Everybody else is from India. So there's some sort of discrimination going on. This was my mental state at that time. After maybe 10 or 15 minutes, Prabodh Swami himself comes down onto the first floor, alone. I later found out that he told everyone that he wants to go to the bathroom. Did he actually go to the bathroom? No. He came down only for me. He sees me and he says, "Chal chokra, walking karwa mate." So I get up, I get his sandals, and we leave the house, and there's a cul-de-sac. There's a circle outside the house, and we start walking. So we start having these small conversations. And then I was thinking like, all right, people usually ask Santo questions, right? So I'm like, all right, what question do I ask him? Because it was just me and him. We were alone. And all of a sudden, I got a thought, and I just blurted it out. So I asked Prabodh Swami, what is Swadhyaya Bhajan? So I'm like, first of all, like I've heard this term in Sabha before, right? But it's like Sanskrit. Like I don't understand these big words, right? Because I'm born here. I don't understand Gujarati that well, Sanskrit, any of that, right? So I asked him that. What is Swadhyaya Bhajan? So then Prabodh Swami himself says, Swadhyaya Bhajan. I'm like, yes, Swadhyaya Bhajan. And then he doesn't say anything. So I'm like, ato bafegi. Like he's not gonna, like I probably asked him the wrong question. After 2 or 3 minutes, so let's take a pause, right? We're walking outside. Let's go back into the house. Prabodh Swami told everybody on the second floor that I want to go to the bathroom. So everyone's wondering, it's been 15 minutes, where's Prabodh Swami? So they search the entire house. He's not on the second floor. They go to the first floor, then the Beno tell Dr. Suradbhai, he's our leader there in Boston. The Beno tell him that Prabodh Swami took Ashish outside. And then, so then Suradbhai joins us in walking. So then, we're walking in that cul-de-sac, and then Suradbhai comes. And then Prabodh Swami gives me the answer to my question. So my question was, what is Swadhyaya Bhajan? And then Prabodh Swami says, Gun gava ane bhajan karu. And then he said, Dr. Jevana bhakto na gun gava. So if I think about it, where was my mental state of mind 15 minutes before? I felt left out. I was in this negativity, just full of negativity, right? These guys always do this to me. But Prabodh Swami walked downstairs for me. And just his touch is such, his presence is such that it completely wipes away that negativity, right? Because he's such a supreme individual, right? But in addition, he gave me a technique with which I may not be physically with you, but you can keep me by following this one agna. It's so simple. Gun gava ane bhajan karu. And that truly can be, the domino. And that really is the one, thought that really keeps me going, right? So if we circle back to the concept of, how can we start that chain reaction, right? Really, it starts off with the domino, right? And if we look at, the acronym for a domino, right? D, decide your thought. O, observe your mind. Like we talked about before, there's thousands of thoughts and they're all coming from different directions depending on where we are, whatever situation we're going through, right? But just being aware of that this is happening. Like, I'm a bystander. These thoughts are just coming and going. It's like traffic. I'm just a bystander. M, make it positive. How? Like Prabhu Swami told me, right? Gun leva, gun gawa. I, interrupt negativity. How do you do that? After you take that gun, what did Prabhu Swami say? Bhajan karu. Bhajan is a concept. It's a technique with which one can harness the strength of Bhagwan, which is boundless. There's no limit to it. And that can truly help us, take that first step in controlling that chain reaction. N, nurturing gratitude, as we talked earlier. And O, one action at a time. Because again, this is one domino at a time.
Thank you, Ashish Bhai. So now we're here. Every single day, we wake up and we're standing in front of a line of dominoes. But the question isn't whether the dominoes will fall. They will. The question is, which one will you push first? Because let's remember, one positive thought can change a moment, one moment can change your habit, and one day can change your life. So let's start now. And let's decide, which domino will I push first? Sajanan Swipe Maharaj Nijay.
Thank you, Atit Bhai and Ashish Bhai, for sharing the domino effect of our thoughts. Now, thinking about that, I really like the one thought and how it transforms your script, right? It was a really powerful prasang that Ashish Bhai shared there. And it really hits home for me. Just this past week, I was working, and it was about 4:30 p.m., so I'm getting ready to wrap up for the day. And I'm on a meeting, and as I'm on this meeting, I'm talking to someone, and in the back of my head, my kids, they have a swim class, so we need to leave by 5 o'clock. So I'm thinking about that, and I need to get ready for swim class, so I need to change my clothes. And so all these thoughts are happening, and as I'm on this meeting, I use a microphone, and that microphone falls out of the holder. And so my first thought, I'm like holding this microphone as I'm talking, and my first thought is like, seriously? Like, of all the things that are going on right now, do I really need another thing to figure out? And it's really frustrating. But then, at that moment, Guru Hari gave a beautiful thought. And it's kind of different, but it's, we use these things every day, our car, the microwave, whatever it is. But we don't always know how they work. So the mic is standing here, but maybe you don't know how this works. So here's an opportunity to learn how this mic, works or how it stands on there, right? And it's kind of funny if you think about it, but it is a positive thought. And so with that, I started to play with the mic, the stand a little bit, put it back on. And then I was happy. I was like, oh, this is good. I learned something. And what I learned out of this is that we really need to be aware of the thoughts that we have. The more aware that we are of the thoughts we have, the easier it becomes for us to prevent those mistakes from happening, right? And that's jagrata. The more aware we are, the more likely we're going to prevent them. And the more we do that, the habit will build after that, right? And so you might see me here on this stage, and you might be used to seeing me in the book club. And your thought might be that, oh, he's been a reader forever. It must be a habit of his. But actually, it wasn't. It was when I was in high school, I went into Kishinji's office one day, and he handed me this book. And the book was called 101 Tales of Yogiji Maharaj. And he had asked me that, just read one story a day at night before you go to sleep. And I began to read this book in high school, one story after another. And slowly, what I learned is that this book taught me to not look externally, but start to look internally at the mistakes that I'm making, at the thoughts that I have. And with that book, from high school to college, and so on and so forth, I started to develop this habit of learning about self-improvement. What are ways that I can improve? And that's how I slowly got into books and started reading one by one. And it's this habit of book, right? That's what the book club is going to be doing for us, or that's what they've been doing for us. They are here to not only read these books and share their insights on what they've learned, but they're taking that one domino for us, that one step, and they're trying to inspire us to also read. So without further ado, let's welcome the book club to share more on this month's book.
Welcome to We Read For You. So we've been reading this book, The Go Giver, for a while. It's written by Bob Burg and John Tenz. So honestly, I'll be honest with you that when I thought that I knew what it's gonna say. It's like just another business book, another formula, or like another like how to be successful criterias in that way. But it stopped me in my mind when I was thinking about this book. Why it was about a boy named Joe. He was so this boy, he is particularly very ambitious in his way. He's hardworking, and also like while doing his hard work, he was thinking more of how can I get more than be go giver. So while transitioning from this book, he later discovers a mentor in his life through a series of conversations where he finds out like his mentor, gives him one way of go giving rather than not go getting. That would be the series 5. He discovers that go giving in a series of 5 laws, and those 5 laws it would be presented to you on this screen. And I would hand it to rather than me talking to you about this book, I would hand it to the panel that we have here, and let's take thoughts from there that what they have to discuss about this book, about those laws.
I mean, when you think about the name itself, right, the Go Giver, it's quite ironic. The name is quite ironic compared with what the concept they are trying to tell in the book. What they are saying is, if you want something, if you want to get something, well, instead give it first.
I get it, and to your earlier point, it's about this guy named Joe, and he's a go-getter. He always wants to close deals. He wants to get stuff done. He's portrayed to be a bit of a transactional person. And that's where his journey, his thought process ends. And through his meetings with this mentor, he says, okay, how is go giving going to help? Because, like you mentioned, that it's a bit counterintuitive for somebody to be giving to get. And then I agree. I had the same question that, okay, is this really something that we want to practice? Is it really realistic? And as I went through the book, it's a very simple message. It talks about a powerful business idea, but the way the mentor talks to Joe, it's more about changing the perspective and changing the way you approach things and your mindset. And the first law that he brings about is the law of value. And he says that if you want to be successful, if you want to be a go-getter, it's important for you to be a value-driven person. And to me, as I was reading it, the one thing that I realized is that the way I can use it, the way I've been trying to use it is a couple examples, right? Let's say I'm talking to somebody, a potential client or an employer, and they say, hey, Mihir, we need you to do these 8 to 10 things for us, but we only have the budget to do these 5 things. Can you work with us? Now, one way to think about it, the one that Joe would probably think about initially is, yeah, you know what, if you have the budget for 5, we can do these 5 things, and we can figure out a way to do the other 3 or 4 things after, and that's the value kind of I can provide, because that's only so much I can do. The mentor tells them that change the way you think. And now listen to this. What if I say that, guys, it's fine. You don't worry about your budget. We know that all of this is going to add tremendous value. We'll do these 10 things for you. You don't worry about anything, because we know that it's going to pay dividends down the line. Now, these 2 pitches, right? What do you think is going to be more received or well received by somebody that you talk to? I believe that the second one, where you are talking more about the value, is something that's going to be well received, because now you know that you're coming across as more credible. So the first law of value that kind of his mentor tells Joe is that it's good to think about money. Don't get me wrong. It's good to think about goals and all of that. But let that be the second thought. Let that not be the first one. So think about providing value. And that's something that will, make you more credible, make you more authentic, and make you less transactional. And then he starts using that. And then in the end, there's a nice quote that the mentor tells him is that, just like thunder follows lightning, money will automatically follow value. So the one takeaway I think that I really liked is that when you talk to someone, talk about value first, and then you talk about the other stuff, which I think is going to pay dividends down the line.
Yeah, very well said, Mihir bhai.
Yeah, I think I resonate with this idea that value is something which is not given through a product or services. It's all about experience that you have. Like what makes you unforgettable, what makes your experience unforgettable is the value that you give. It's more attention, more care that you are given to someone. That makes something special about you. You become a man of value, and I truly
follows, yeah.
Exactly.
And we see this throughout the different businesses we engage with. So an example of this that comes to mind is American Express or Amazon. All else equal, Amazon makes returning products very easy. And so as a result, they become our preferred provider. We don't have to think twice. Sometimes they'll even say, you keep the product that you're returning, we'll refund you. And now, psychologically, in our heads, we decide, all else equal, if, let's say, Home Depot and Amazon have the same price, or Amazon and another retailer have the same price, we run all of our orders through Amazon because we know if we have any issue, we'll end up not having any problems. And so Amazon might make a little less per transaction, but the volume more than makes up for it. American Express, the same thing. One time I had a flight that got canceled for one of the Shibirs, and it wasn't even a benefit on the credit card that I had that they had to reimburse me for that. I called, within one ring, somebody's on the phone, they empathize with what you're going through in the moment, and they take care of it. And actually, Mihir bhai, I remember you had a different card that actually had the benefit, and it took you 4 or 5 months to get that same thing resolved. So we see it day to day in the businesses that we engage with also, that those that provide value, we almost have an inherent allegiance towards them.
I think the key word, Bansi bhai, over here is the word empathy, where these businesses empathize with us that, we understand that unforgiving situations may occur. For some situations, your flight may get cancelled because of some undesirable situations. Some product may be, faulty. So they do sympathize with you, and I think that's what we want from people around us, that, we want people to sympathize with us. And that's why these businesses, I feel, the customer base is very loyal to them. Even today, after all these years, I prefer AMX or Amazon just because of this one fundamental concept, is because they understand my stand, they understand my situation, and they don't hold me accountable. So I think that is one very important thing.
Exactly. So what I think the author is talking about is that moving a question from what can I get to how much more can I give. Yeah, Mihir bhai.
And I was going to say that also, we spoke about businesses and all of that. It also makes you, I believe, a more pleasant person to be around. When you only talk about transactions, I'll only do this if I get this in return. What's my ulterior motive? How can I close this deal? if I find out that somebody has that mindset, it'll make them not as friendly as somebody that simply says, you know what, I'm going to add value because of who I am. So I think it's also, in terms of you as an individual, it makes you a little more fun to be around. It makes you want to interact with that person more because you know that the guy has nothing. He just wants to add value, even if it comes at a cost that may be a bit less. So I think overall, yes, we spoke about businesses and all of that, but I think from personal standpoint, it makes you a better person, I think. Just going beyond, the day-to-day petty transactions is something that I got from it as well. So it just goes beyond just a business idea. Your day-to-day interactions, I think, are heavily governed by this law too.
Very powerful point, Mihir Bhai. And this was one of the laws. But another law that he covers is the law of influence. And so the law of influence says your influence is determined by how abundantly you put other people's interests first. And one thing that comes to mind is Atmiya Vidya Mandir. Saraswat Bhai, I know you had the pleasure of attending Atmiya Vidya Mandir. And if you think about it, from a worldly perspective, Swamiji had no real benefit of opening this temple, this school. And I feel like this law of influence ties very, very well where Swamiji put, the interest of you ahead of, his own interest. He could have used that time for anything else. Please share a little bit about your experience there.
In one of the discussions we had with Vijay sir, I remember Vijay sir, who's the principal of the school, Atmiya Vidya Mandir. Vijay sir did his master's from IIT Mumbai, and then he came to America, did his PhD from Stony Brook University, which is in upstate New York. And then in 2012 he came back to India, and Swamiji asked him to be in charge as the principal of the school. In one of these conversations with Vijay sir Vijay sir highlighted one very important point, that AVM is just not a school, it's a gift to humanity by Swamiji. And well, it's easier said than done. Why? Because the integral staff, including Vijay sir and all the teachers, Swamiji has literally cherry-picked them from all across the world. Like there are teachers from America, teachers from UK, who could have made millions and given a lot to Swamiji, but in return, Swamiji chose to pick these teachers and make them in charge of the school, and their core responsibility was to guide us further in how we become better as students and better in life.
The touching point there is that he had nothing to benefit from this. Because of that school, you'll get a better job. You'll have better values. You'll benefit. You'll settle better. You'll be able to do your parents' seva. Everything that comes out of it is for the sole benefit of you. And I really think that encompasses the law of influence with Swamiji.
And one of the other things, putting others' interests before yours is something that is, again, a very, very counterintuitive law that is very hard to abide by these days, right? We live in a very competitive world. One of the things that I was also thinking that, yes, what can I learn from Swamiji's life, Prabhu Swami's life? And the author shares a very good example. Joe, our protagonist in this book, there's a point where he is very stressed. There's a lot of things going on in his mind, and then he goes home. And then, his wife wants to talk to him because she also had a bit of a rough day. And the one thing that he said was, I remember this law. And it was as simple as me just listening to her, putting all of my thoughts aside. So part of this is also that you don't have to have perhaps any grand gestures, maybe do a big donation or do anything too massive. It could be something as simple as giving somebody your undivided time, attention, focus. And this is something that I am trying to get better at. I know my wife may be watching, and the one thing that sometimes I feel at home is that there's so much going on in my mind that when she says something, I don't even register because I'm so preoccupied. So one takeaway is, I think, for me in terms of putting other people's interests first is those small steps. What can I do even on a day-to-day basis? Can I leave everything aside and just have a very focused discussion where I don't think about anything else. And if you really think about it, look at where we're sitting, right? A lot of the people that we interact with on a day-to-day basis, our friends here, our Bhagwadis here, Prabhu Swami himself, even Swamiji, right? What's the one thing that we get from them? That anytime you walk into anybody's office, no matter what they're doing, they leave everything aside and give you their undivided time. So at that point of time, they're inherently putting their interests, your interests before theirs. And this is just a small thing that I believe I and all of us can perhaps walk away with.
And that's a great point, Mihir, but it doesn't have to be something really big. It can show up in small aspects of life. And I think Ariana Huffington, she puts it, she writes the foreword in this book, and one of the things she says, being a giving person, period, one who gives thought, gives attention, gives care, gives focus, gives time and energy, who gives value to others. So it can show up in the ways that you least expected. Just being present for somebody, being able to listen, not judge them, being able to help them when they need it. Small acts of kindness really push this giving mentality. So I want to run an exercise with everybody in the room here. Think about the most generous person you know, or generous group of people that you know. Take a moment to think about who that is. And ask yourself this one question. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they in a good position, or are they struggling? And just hold on to that thought for a second, because it's personal to each and every person here. I want to pivot to Rajbhai here. Rajbhai, would you care to comment on that?
Thank you for asking this question. So, Bansi bhai, if you think of, you don't have to go much further. Think of, you can see around yourself in between these walls, those groups of people that we have. Why, I always ask to myself that why do I come to Sabha? Why do I coming back again to the Sabha? So there's only one thing that comes into my mind. That is, if you go outside, everyone wants something from me. They want to, like, some money or some services, some of the other things, like even to a small vendor that you go. But in this Sabha, nobody wants anything from your life. They just want to add something. There is no expectations what they want to add. There is nothing that they want from you.
And that's a very powerful point, Rajbhai. This is one of the only places where everyone is giving. And naturally, it makes it a pleasant place to be. People are trying to serve you more than you're trying to serve them. And naturally, that keeps you coming back. And for what? You end up progressing. You end up gaining from it. And I think the greatest examples are Bhagwadis, Kishanji, Anami Didi. They're there for you at a moment's notice. You could have come to Mandir last week. You could have been coming for the last 25 years. One phone call, they're there for you. Guru Hari, Swamiji. Every summer, there's one thing that, at least for me in my life, that's been pretty much definite. They're going to be here. They're going to, give darshan. And it's one of those things. They're constantly giving. And that's very powerful. And it's very hard to describe any other place in the world where you feel that. And naturally, it's Bella tu pachihu.
And that is kind of, the conclusion of this session as well, right? If you really think about it, we've discussed a lot of books over the past, year or so. The one thing that we all can agree that is common is that the concepts that come out of these books, they're nothing new. There's something that Swamiji and Prabodh Swami have been teaching us for many, many decades, right? Just the simple comparison that you made, just a simple parallel that you drew, right? That's directly pertinent to this law that Pilla tame pachi hu. If you simply exercise that, if you look at Swamiji's life, if you look at Guru Hari's life, if you look at our Bhagwadi's life, the selfless friends that we have around, the one thing that is common is that, they'll always keep our interests before theirs with the same bhavna in mind. Pila tame pachi hu. So we can go on and on and on. This obviously 20 minutes doesn't really do justice to a book that has so many good laws. But at the end of the day, just as the topic says that, domino effect, typically when we think of a domino effect, we see something that's falling, right? The first piece falls and maybe the nth piece will fall. But we truly believe, at least I truly believe, that if we were to imbibe some of these laws that are extremely similar to what Swamiji and Guru Hari have been teaching us, we undoubtedly are going to see the reverse domino effect where good things will keep happening, success will keep coming our way, and it'll be, the reverse domino effect. So with that, we can go on and on and on, but thank you for listening. And the one thing that, we'd like everyone to walk away with is that, is there a way that we can use these laws on a day-to-day basis? In fact, one of the key parameters of Joe's life, when he meets his mentor, the mentor tells him that I'll advise you, but the one key thing that you have to keep in mind is that you use this law on the very same day. So when we walk out that door, when we eat, when we go back to our day-to-day lives, let's ask ourselves, what law am I using today? And then let's gauge if it's adding value or not. So with that, until next time, we'll hand it over back to the SYM team. Thank you.
All right. The book club, they shared some great insights we read for you on the Go-Giver. Pella tu pachi hu. And that's a very powerful line. If we look at Swamiji and Guru Hari Prabhu Swamiji's life, this is how they've lived. Always you before me. And I think if we look at each other next to us, everyone next to us, as the book club said, is living with this bhavna. And the powerful thing is that when someone lives like this, it starts to impact everyone around us, just as we see in our samaj. And that chain is very, very fast. That positive energy is very fast. And speaking of fast, if we look at today's time with AI, things are going at the speed of light. Every week, every day, we're learning about a new tool. This thing came out. This model is now released. This AI startup is now launching a new product. And it's insane. Just this past week, Google just launched Stitch, I think is what it's called. Or they just improved on it. Stitch is a new platform that allows you to do user experience design and build websites and apps. There's so many tools out there, and we're moving so lightning fast. And I think it's an incredible time in mankind history, in all of history, that just with a single thought, we can create something so powerful that is not only personal, but that has a huge outreach in just maybe even hours or days. You can build something that's personal for your family. You can build a website that people, millions all over the world can visit. You can build an app. You can build literally everything. And I think when we talk about dominoes, the thought hasn't changed. The domino is still there. But how far that domino can go today, it has changed with AI. And so without further ado, let's call up the ACC team. We're going to ask Anandbhai to share more about some of the new AI tools and how we can use them to bring out these creative thoughts that we have and build on. So let's give it up for Anandbhai.
Okay, we have a fun one today for ACC Career Compass, and it's going to be going over some of the tools that, the AI tools that are out there for image and video creation and audio creation. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to create an entire story of this make-believe person named Harry going to Mandir, coming up here in the Samanvay youth meet, speaking, and then going off stage, okay? What we're going to do here, all of it is going to be fake. No real pictures, nothing that we're going to do here. I'm just going to unplug the HDMI once and plug it back in to see if it comes more clear. So the first thing we're going to use is ChatGPT. We're used to ChatGPT.
That is what enables us to get our storyboard ready. We as humans are not able to prompt as perfect as we want in these AI music tools, these video tools, these image tools. So we ask ChatGPT to create the prompts, and we take that and put it into the tools below. We're going to have Nano Banana. That's a Google image generation product to generate an image of Harry. We're going to use Suno to create the audio track that goes behind the video of this. We're going to use HeyGen to show Harry talking. We're going to use Higgsfield for image and video creation. I would say these are the best-in-class tools for every single thing that you want to do. All right? So first things first, if we go to ChatGPT, we're literally going to type in there, hey, you can't read that, but just hang with me here. Hey, I am looking to create a video of a person named Harry, and he is going to walk into mandir, into a temple, and then be greeted in the lobby. He will walk into a hall full of people, speak on the podium. Create a storyboard for me. Okay? I'm going to have ChatGPT create an entire storyboard for me. I'm going to put this on the side, okay? I'm going to skip through tools quite a bit. Google Gemini. Gemini is where you have access to Nano Banana 2. That's to create images. That is also where you have access to VO3 and VO3.1 to create videos. So the first thing I'm going to say is, for image creation, can you create a picture of let me zoom in here, of a young Indian adult wearing cream dress shirt and blue pants and tilak chanlo on his forehead. Okay? You could get as descriptive as you want. I'm going to press enter. We're not going to wait for the generation piece, okay? Because we're pressed for time. But I will show you that these are some pictures that we took yesterday. Okay? Empty hall late last night. We're going to use all these images in the next couple tools that we see. This is the picture that Google Nano Banana has created. It's a young Indian adult in front of a mandir with tilak chanlo. Are we okay with this? All right, we're good with the image gen then. So we have describe the story, we generated. Let's get Suno going, okay? First things first is I want to make a song. If I want to make a song, I need lyrics, correct? So I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Here it is. Hey, I am going to create a nice song in Suno. Can you create lyrics for me? I told it I'm using Suno. It's going to give me lyrics. It's going to say, I'll give you Bollywood style Gujarati lyrics. Great. I'm going to go to Suno. Suno.ai. That's for audio creation. A lot of songs that you hear will be about that. Now here's the cool part I did here. I went to Suno. This is how it is, right? I went to create and I go to advanced. I'm telling you a little about the advanced settings here. In here, I like the song Dhanya Hui Hai Ye Sadhu Ta Param. It was a song that was created, and it's a really nice one on Sarveshwar Ben. You'll see. It is a song that was created, a bhajan that was created, and since I like it, I'm going to use it as reference. Okay? So I upload the song in here. So it takes the pieces, the instrumentals and everything from that bhajan. Then I go back. Look at that. Savare, I don't know, Manma Shanti Lave, Pagla A Mandire Mane Andar Bhulave. Whatever the lyrics are, I'm not going to pay attention to it now. When you create your video, you can get specific. I'm going to copy these lyrics. I'm going to paste them in the lyrics tab here. Good? And then I'm going to say, generate. Once you start creating, it's going to start creating 2 songs here for you. I already created one, and that one is in here, right here. It's a custom one. That's the real one. Let me get you the one We're going to test that in a second. We got the song now, okay? If you need to make it more Bollywood, if you need to make it slow, make it fast, go do whatever you want to it. This is just a quick demo of that. Next, we're going to upload that image into this app tool called HeyGen. HeyGen will create an avatar out of what you did, all right? So what I did in HeyGen is I clicked on avatar, I uploaded a picture of him, all right? And then it allows me to put any kind of look or setting on him. So this was the original picture. I edit look. I could pick any of these styles. I could even say, hey, I have a picture. Put this person, I know you can't read it, just follow me. Put this person in front of a desk, on a desk, in front of the mandir. And it'll start creating it. I actually have it created, so I'll show you. This is the one that it's created. Okay? It's not that great quality on here. We have to fix something. But this is the one it's created. It's used the image to create an avatar, and then it puts it in front of any building or whatever you want it to. Then you could even tell this person to say, hey, how are you? Or, હું મંદિરમાં જાઉં છું સમન્વય youth meet માટે અને video ઉપર એક explanation કરીશ. Okay? I did that, and it is created right here.
આજે હું સમન્વય યુથ મીટમાં હાજરી આપવા માટે મંદિર જઈ રહ્યો છું. હું વિડિયો બનાવવાના વિષય પર વાત કરીશ.
Very simple. An avatar, this is all a fake image, a fake person. None of this is real shot. It was done in about 1 hour using all these tools. The last thing that we want to show is Higgs field. This is your go-to tool for absolutely any kind of image and video creation. It is extremely powerful. One of the apps, it has several different apps. You could take a single image, single AI-based image, and it'll create multiple shots of it. These are not real shots that we created. These are fake shots that it took from this original image here, and it's able to take 9 high-quality images from that one in the beginning. Just like that, there's many different apps in Higgs field that you could explore. The one for making video is we go to Cinema Studio 2.5. This is the most powerful engine that's out there. You could tell it anything that you want. I created one where I uploaded a couple sample pictures, and I have right here, I have the image of the person. Right here, I have the image of the mandir from the back. Right here, I have my image at the podium standing. And I gave it a bunch of prompts. Again, I gave it hand prompts here. Shot 1. A shot of him where the camera is behind him. He finishes speaking and everyone gives him a standing ovation. Shot 2. He walks off backstage and has a sigh of relief. Shot 3. He looks up and smiles happily. It creates these videos that you're seeing here. All generated by Higgs field. Then when you create all these images, when you create the songs, when you create the videos, you need to compose it together. iMovie, Final Cut, Premiere, all of those are ways that you can compose these images and videos together. So what we did is very high level. We took ChatGPT. ChatGPT gives you an amazing storyboard of how you should think about this. How you should think about the story that you're trying to develop. I only said something simple. A young Indian adult going to mandir and speaking on stage. ChatGPT, you know what it will do? It will break it out into such complex, all the different scenes. Right now, scene 2 is here. Scene 3, lobby greeting. It'll even tell you what prompt to use. Warm mandir lobby with devotees greeting a young man with smiles. Traditional welcoming atmosphere, community. That's the prompt. Then you want to give it an image as a reference. Okay, we gave it an image. See these images? These are the images that we shot. I gave it this image, so it knows what lobby to use. And then it generates the videos. After you generate all the videos, and give me 1 second. And then you go to Premiere. That's what I use to put this together. And then basically put the entire video together. All the little pieces that were there, the images, the beginning avatar video, and we put a 1 minute together.
આજે હું સમન્વય યુથ મીટમાં હાજરી આપવા માટે મંદિર જઈ રહ્યો છું. હું વિડિયો બનાવવાના વિષય પર વાત કરીશ. તારા દર્શન થાય જા મંદિર સુધી મારા પગલા લઈ જા મારા મનને તારી પાસે લઈ જા દર શ્વાસમાં તું જ વસી જા મને તારી ભક્તિમાં રંગી જા. And there you have it. So, we used a couple tools, tool chaining. It's not that hard. If you spend a little time in these tools, it's really easy to get to know how to prompt, how to put reference images. You just need to have a vision. You need to be creative. And if you can't be creative, go ask ChatGPT to be creative for you and copy what it says and put it in there. And it makes wonders. If you use Higgs field, even if if you're wearing a suit and tie and you want to look in Umbrish clothes with a badge and blue pants, there's one prompt and one tool in Higgs field that'll be able to do that for you. It's really easy. So I have one challenge here. I have a QR code. If we could get the QR code back up. If you are willing to help in creating a Samanvay Youth Meet video, or Youth Shibir is also coming up sometime in July or August. If you're willing to help create AI videos, AI bhajans, AI images, then please scan this code. I hope it's working. I know it's a little blurry. But if you're able to scan this, if you're able to just put your name in, your number, and your email, we will definitely reach out. We'll have a group meeting. We'll talk about what next steps are. We'll train everyone a little bit because we have many experts back here as well. And then we could really create some awesome content. Okay? Good? Thank you. Sajanand Swami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Samanvay Group was a vision given by Guru Hari Prasad Swamiji. Yuvako Maru Hriday Hai was Swamiji's ultimate goal, and you could see it in every nus of his being. That was the true beginning of our Samanvay Group. He believed the cultures and values we bring from India should never be hidden in this foreign country, and we should ideally get together, network, and enjoy each other's company to make everyone feel at home. That was the basis of our Samanvay Group and ACC Atmiya Care Charities. So the history of pickleball goes all the way back to 1965. It was a children's game. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to bore you with history of pickleball or cricket. I'm sure you guys already know that. However, I do want to take a moment to say how truly special these events are that ACC and Samanvay Group host. It's not just about the games. It's about the people, the energy, the joy, the support for one another. You could feel the sense of Atmiyata, Suradbhav, and Ekta as soon as you entered into the facility. And those were the true pillars of what Swamiji and Guru Hari Prabodh Swamiji have instilled in all of us, and they were truly fully on display. At its core, Atmiya Care Charities is about nurturing the potential within every individual, most importantly, our youths. We strongly believe that every young person has the ability to create meaningful change, and through the right environment, values, and opportunities, that potential can truly shine. Atmiya Care Charities and Samanvay Group are deeply committed to youth development, education, and empowerment. Through its various events such as pickleball, box cricket, Samanvay Premier League, and I'm sure some of you guys are eagerly waiting for that to come. Stay tuned. Our monthly youth meets and our annual carnival promotes not only physical well-being, but also mental, emotional, and most importantly, spiritual growth for all of our youths. Now, can we please have the Seva team to give us a quick highlight video of what Atmiya Care Charities and Samanvay Group represent. So February and March were big months for Atmiya Care Charities and Samanvay Group. In tandem with the pickleball tournament that we hosted, there were 2 box cricket tournaments as well. One was held in Boston, and the other one was held in Bensalem with Bensalem Mundard, Virginia Mundard, and Cherry Hill. I want to congratulate the winners from Boston, Malden Indians, and the runners-up were the Greenfield Titans. So please, big round of applause. And from Bensalem, the Parabhakti Kings were the winners, and the runners-up were the Mahima Igniters. So thank you to every player, every sevak, every supporter that allows us to host these beautiful events. Because of you, these events aren't just successful, they are truly memorable and impactful for the new youths. Moving on to 2026 Pickleball Tournament, which was hosted here. We had Clifton, Parsippany, Jersey City, and Edison Mundals that participated. It was 12 hours, 142 players, 71 teams, and a total of 173 matches. And finally, we were able to truly crown the champions. At this moment, I would like to call up Aryu Uncle and Bhupetra Uncle to the stage to present our medals to the runners-up as well as the champions. The runners-up were Amanbhai Dudeja and Pranavbhai Dwivedi. And I have to admit, pickleball has a reputation as an old man sport. But after that day, I think it's officially over. Please give a big round of applause for the winners of the tournament, Shrimat Sangani and Jay Bhai Badaria. So there's one more award that we need to give, and I'd like to call upon Hemantbhai Sojitra to give that award out, which is the Khandani and Khel Dili Awards. These are very important awards that not many organizations or tournaments give out. The awards are going to go to Deepambhai Patel from Jersey City and Shrimad Bhai and Jay Bhai. These awards are given to people that uphold all the virtues that we spoke about earlier. There was an instant in Shrimad Bhai and Jay Bhai's, they were playing, there was a delay of about 45 minutes. Their games got changed, referees got changed. There wasn't an instance where they said, why are we doing this? Why is it taking so long? They went with the flow. Deepam Bhai was a player as well as a referee, and unfortunately, obviously, prasang to bane. It's a sporting event. Adrenaline is high. So there was a couple words and said to him, but once again, without wavering, he just moved on and we completed the tournament. So Hemant Bhai, please come up to the stage to give the awards to Deepam Bhai Patel from Jersey City and Shrimad Bhai and Jay Bhai. And now I'd like to give it back to the Seva team to continue our Samanvay Youth Meet.
How we doing so far? Good? Come on, some energy. There we go. Saturday night. So far, we've talked about the domino effect. What have we learned so far? The power of one thought and where that can take us. Actions, habits, mindset, lifestyle, so on and so forth. We got some true insight from the book club, and the book was The Go-Giver. We learned about how putting others first can make us happier, can make us more fulfilled. We learned about some new AI tools. That was an amazing presentation. I think these AI tools, they can take us to places that we never thought of before. Just with a single thought, we can build things that we can share with the world. Now, let's go on to one of my favorite segments, and that is Mara Swamiji. Let's call upon Shivambai for Mara Swamiji.
Mara Swamiji, Mara Swamiji, Mara Swamiji, Mera Swamiji, Mara Swamiji, Mara Swamiji, Mara Swamiji, Mara Swamiji, Mara Swamiji.
We have been hearing about the domino effect. How one small fall could trigger the next, and then the next, and eventually the whole system falls. But what if the first domino never fell? How many lives would be different? How many broken relationships would be saved? What if someone was present there, always present there, catching us, steadying us, and not letting us fall? That someone was Mara Swamiji, Guru Hari Prasad Swamiji Maharaj. One such incident is of Jignesh Bhai. Jignesh Bhai, a young yuvak, once full of potential. He was going through a troubled phase in life. He had turned to the bottle to numb his pain. He could not figure out what to do in his life. One night, his numbness wasn't enough when he stated a desperate and dangerous statement to his father, a jid, stubbornness. He said, "If Swamiji does not come to meet me today, I will not see the sunrise tomorrow." Swamiji was very busy. Hundreds of Hari Bhaktos were waiting for Swamiji to have his darshan. As Swamiji prepared for his international travel the very next day, by all practical means, it was impossible for Swamiji to come that night, travel all the way and meet Jignesh Bhai. Even the Santos who arrived at Jignesh Bhai's house could not change his mind. There sat a yuvak, dreaded in deep despair, and only Swamiji was capable of bringing him out of that situation. But that would require Swamiji's own sacrifice. When the message finally reached Swamiji, he did not look at his watch. He did not check his itinerary. At 12:30 a.m. in the night, Swamiji reached Jignesh Bhai's doorstep. Jignesh Bhai, barely able to control, demanded to be alone with Swamiji. In the room, Jignesh Bhai tried to speak with Swamiji, but collapsed into a drunken sleep. Swamiji did not let go. He gently lifted Jignesh Bhai's head and placed it in his lap. for 1.5 hours. Swamiji sat still. He refused to move, refused to adjust his posture, fearing that the slightest stir would wake this boy up and return him to misery. From 12:30 a.m. to 2 a.m., Swamiji sat on the floor, holding the weight of one broken youth. That moment, Swamiji not just let Jignesh Bhai sleep, he assured him with something alaukik. Swamiji said, "Beta, tu chinta na karish, ha? હું તારી સાથે જ છું. બધું જ સરસ થઈ જશે. તું જ્યારે પણ મને બોલાવીશ, હું આવી જઈશ તને મળવા. આપણે ખૂબ વાતો કરીશું." Finally, when Jignesh Bhai woke at 2 a.m., his jid was gone. The alcohol had faded away, but more importantly, the darkness in his life had lifted. As Swamiji prepared to leave Jignesh Bhai's house that night, Jignesh Bhai's father prayed to Swamiji, "Swamiji, how can I ever repay this debt?" Swamiji said, "ગમે ત્યારે મને બોલાવી લેજો. હું નવરો જ છું. મારી બધી જ સેવા મૂકીને હું જિગ્નેશને મળવા આવી જઈશ. બાપાના આવા પ્રાણપ્યારા યુવકોની સેવા ક્યાંથી? Call me anytime. I am always free. I will leave all my other sevas and come to meet Jignesh Bhai. How fortunate I am to be able to serve Bapa's beloved youth." Swamiji's unconditional love. "બેટા, તું ચિંતા ના કરીશ. હું તારી સાથે જ છું. બધું જ સરસ થઈ જશે," was his way to make sure that our dominoes do not fall. His assurance and his divine presence give us the strength to stand tall whenever we are dull, and also give us the strength to fight our negative thoughts. One thought has the power to save a life, and it also has the ability to destroy one. One negative thought, if left unchecked, can create big distances between people. Swamiji prevented that from happening. Swamiji prevented relationships to break. One such incident is of Vikas Bhai's life. In 2010, Vikas Bhai, living in the UK, was having a difficult relationship with his father, who was living in India. Vikas Bhai had developed strong negative thoughts about his father. He was of the thought that his father is too much involved in the worldly vyavhar and is not focusing well on his health. This was the start of a relationship. This was the start of a distance that wasn't physical, rather mental and emotional. One day, overwhelmed with these thoughts, Vikas Bhai decided to discuss them with his leader in the UK. At that moment, Swamiji was in Australia. No one had informed Swamiji about Vikas Bhai's situation. Yet, out of nowhere, Swamiji asked a sevak in Australia to call Vikas Bhai, who was staying in the UK. In that call, Swamiji said something unexpected. He said, "Vikas, Your father is a true gentleman. Bhagwan has given him the ability to perform worldly responsibilities with utmost care, precision, and perfection. And that's why your family is able to live with Atmiyata. You should also learn these qualities from your father. At that moment, everything changed. Vikasbai's negativity dissolved. His perspective changed. The mental distance between the father and the son began to close. While thoughts divided people, Swamiji's actions united them. People can be living under the same roof, yet could be miles apart at heart. But Swamiji, while living miles away from this family, did something that could unite them. Swamiji strengthened the bond of the father and the son like never before. And he did just by removing one negative thought that could have broken the relationship. Swamiji, throughout his life, has served countless youths. Swamiji has saved countless lives from falling. Swamiji prevented countless relationships from breaking. And he gave one promise for all future falls to come. Remembering one such incident, Swamiji was once seated in Vrajrasan doing Datana. Beside him sat Kirti Mama, who was quietly engrossed in Swamiji's darshan. As Swamiji finished and was getting up, suddenly Swamiji's body lost control. In that very moment, Vikasbai quickly reached Swamiji and held him, and to prevent him from falling. Swamiji looked up and said to Kirti Mama, "You have prevented me from falling today. Now, whenever you are about to fall in life, I will be there to protect you." These blessings were not just for Kirti Mama. That day, Swamiji assured us all, whenever we remember Swamiji, he is always there with us. He is always ready to protect us. Swamiji was a boundless personality. He came on this earth with a mission of making every soul that came in his contact the beneficiary of his true happiness. And for that, Swamiji has given away his everything. Swamiji sacrificed his everything for us to stand tall. Swamiji sacrificed his everything so that we don't fall. He held our hands and prevented us from falling. As it said in the bhajan, ठोकर खाओ हो जारे हरि थामे तू हाथ.
चालू तारी साथ तू चाले मारी साथ ठोकर जा खाऊं त्या हरी थामे तू चालू तारी साथ तू चाले मारी साथ ठोकर जा खाऊं त्या हरी थामे तू आंगड़ी पकड़ी चाल
शिखवे आंगड़ी पकड़ी चाल का शिखवे ने पढ़ूं त्या भर तो चालू तारी साथ तू चाले मारी साथ ठोकर जा खाऊं क्या हरी थामे तू हाथ हरी थामे तू हाथ मारा स्वामी जी मारा स्वामी जी मारा स्वामी जी
Mara Swamiji. What a segment. Every time I listen and attend Mara Swamiji, it brings me back to this emotional state. Some of us are nodding our heads. Swamiji's love was such, his prem was such. He just wanted us to be better. That every single second we used in our time, he wanted it to go of value. He wanted us to take one step forward. That's the domino. There's this one prasang that I recently heard of Swamiji where he was doing Vichran in Dubai. And it was a long day of Vichran. And he went from Padramni to Padramni. And after this long day, Swamiji went into the elevator to wrap up the day, to go back to his Utaro. And as he went into the elevator, the staff came in. And as the doors were closing, Swamiji says, wait. So they stopped the door. And then Swamiji says one very nice line. That Aje, u 40 nahi, to maru man mari upar chadi bese. That if I don't walk today, that my mind is going to jump on top of me. Swamiji had a very consistent routine of walking every day. 20 minutes. And even after this long day of Vichran, he decided that, no, I must walk. That's taking that one thought, that one domino, and ensuring that it goes on the right path, so all the other dominoes go forward. If Swamiji decided not to walk that day, what would happen tomorrow? That my mind is going to tell me that no, it's okay, you can take another day off. You did Vichran all day. But why did Swamiji do this? He did that for us. He showed through his life how we can take one step. Swamiji for years has given the Agna and Guru Hari that we must do 30 minutes of bhajan. And after time, Swamiji changed it to 20 minutes, to 15 minutes, to 10 minutes, to 5 minutes, to 2 minutes. That even if we're just about to hit the pillow and go to sleep, just say Swaminarayan, 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 just 5 times. Why? Did Swamiji think that we're not capable? No. Swamiji knew that if we started with a single step, a single domino, that if we do Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan just 5 times a day, that one day we'll go to 1 minute, we'll go to 2 minutes, we'll go to 5 minutes, we'll go to 10 minutes, we'll go to 15, we'll go to 30 minutes. Because Swamiji knew how we can change. And that's momentum. Once we get the momentum started, then it's very easy for us to get going. So just as Swamiji and Guru Hari have shared that doing bhajan daily is an agna, we'd like to call upon Ambrish Bhai next on the topic of the domino effect and how just following one single agna of Swamiji and Guru Hari's and the effect that it can play on our lives. So let's welcome Ambrish Bhai.
सहजानंद स्वामी महाराज नी जय, गुरु गुणातीतानंद स्वामी जी महाराज नी जय, श्री अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराज नी जय, गुरु हरि शास्त्री जी महाराज नी जय, गुरु हरि योगी जी महाराज नी जय, गुरु हरि हरिप्रसाद स्वामी जी महाराज नी जय जय जय, प्रगट गुरु हरि दासानुदास प्रबोध जीवन स्वामी जी महाराज नी जय जय जय. હરિપ્રબોધમ પરિવારની જય જય જય, દાસના દાસ થવાની જય જય જય, હરિપ્રબોધમ અમૃત મહોત્સવની જય જય જય. પણ મારે મારા લાઈફમાં ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટ લાવવો હોય તો શું કરું? હું તો એટલો પાવરફુલ છું નહીં, રાઈટ? મારા એવા કંઈ થોટ્સ નથી કે મારી પાસે એવી થિંકિંગ નથી કે હું કંઈક શોધી નાખું અને ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટ આવી જાય. પણ આપણી પાસે સ્વામીજી છે, તો સ્વામીજી કેવા પુરુષ છે એને સમજીએ તો આપણા લાઈફમાં ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટ આવે. એકચ્યુઅલી બોર્ન એન્ડ બ્રોટ અપ સત્સંગમાં થવાનું થયું, રાઈટ? પણ કેવું કે સત્સંગમાં રહીએ, સ્વામીજી ગમે, પહેલેથી સ્વામીજી ગમે, પણ કેવું કે એવરીડે સભામાં જવું, તિલક ચાલો કરવો, એ બધું, સંતો જોડે ફરવું, એ બધું કેવું કે થોડું ઓછું ફાવે એમ. એટલે એવું થાય ને કે યાર હારા બધા શું વિચાર છે એમ, સંતો જોડે ફરે છે એમ. પણ મમ્મી કેવું કે સંતો આવે એટલે પહેલાં મેક શ્યોર કરે કે દર્શન કરવા ગયો છે કે નહીં એમ. પણ આપણે શું કરીએ કે પહેલાં જઈએ દર્શન કરવા, એટલે કોઈ જ ના આવ્યું હોય, એટલે પહેલાં દર્શન કરીએ અને પછી બધા આવે એટલે છટકી જઈએ. પણ સ્વામીજી કેવા છે, 2015માં યુએસ આવવાનું થયું અને સ્વામીજીને મળવાનું થયું અને પ્રાર્થના કરી કે સ્વામીજી તમે તો પ્રથમ 16-18ની વાત કરો છો, પણ મારાથી તો જીવાતું જ નથી. એક બાજુ સ્વામીજીનું પવિત્ર જીવન અને બીજી બાજુ આપણે, કોઈ કમ્પેરિઝન જ નથી. આપણે એની સામે બેસવા માટે બી લાયક નથી, છતાં બી એ મારી પ્રાર્થના સાંભળે છે, હું રડું છું. જસ્ટ થિંક અબાઉટ દેટ કે હું રડતો રડતો સ્વામીજીનું આખું ગાતર્યું મેં પેલું કરી નાખ્યું એમ આંસુથી, અને સ્વામીજી મારા માથા પર હાથ ફેરવતા હતા અને મને કહે કે રડે છે શું, આપણે બકરી નહીં થવાનું એમ, કે આપણે સિંહ થવાનું છે. એમ કે આપણે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ એટલે બાપા બળ આપે જ, કેમ ના જીવાય? આ સ્વામીજીના શબ્દ હતા. એટલે ત્યારથી ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટ એવું કહીએ કે લાઈફમાં ચાલુ થઈ. પણ હજુ તો આપણે કેવું કે સ્ટાર્ટ થયું હતું અને બધું બહુ બધું અંદર છે. પણ 2018માં સ્વામીજી એક અનુભવ કરાવે છે. એટલે આપણે કેવું કે થોડુંક બોલવાનો સ્વભાવ, અગ્રેસિવ સ્વભાવ, એટલે કેવું કે સામે ગુસ્સાથી કોકને 2-4 ગાળો બી દઈ દઈએ એમ. એટલે ચાલે બધું. 2018માં પાલમાં સ્વામીજી સભા કરીને બેઠા હતા અને બધા હરિભક્તો જ હતા. સમવેર લાઈક 800+ હરિભક્તો બેઠા હતા, ભાઈઓ બહેનો બધા. આવી રીતે સ્ટેજ હતું, સ્વામીજી ઉપર હતા, હું 3જી-4થી લાઈનમાં બેઠો હોઈશ અને સ્વામીજી વાત કરે છે, બહુ બધી વાતો કરે છે. પણ એ હવે હરિભક્તો બેઠા છે, ત્યાં આપણે એવું વિચારીએ કે સ્વામીજી એવી વાતો કરે કે આપણાથી ગાળ ના બોલાય. દેટ્સ ધ ડિફોલ્ટ થિંગ, રાઈટ? સત્સંગ કરીએ અને બેઝિક સ્ટ્રક્ચરમાં આવે છે કે આપણાથી ગાળ ના બોલાય, શિક્ષાપત્રીમાં લખ્યું છે. પણ હું સાંભળતો હતો અને સ્વામીજી આવી રીતે આંગળી કરીને બોલતા હતા, 3જી વાર રિપીટ કર્યું અને સીધું મારી આંખમાં જોયું. 800 માણસો બેઠા છે અને એને ખબર છે કે હું બોલું છું અને એણે મને કહેવું છે, તો એ 800 હરિભક્તોની પરવા નથી કરતા, પણ એને મારી ચિંતા છે એટલે મને કહે છે, આંખમાં આંખ મિલાવીને. છે તો બધાને કહે છે, પણ મારી આંખમાં આંખ મિલાવે છે. મને તો ખબર પડી જ જાય, આપણી સામે કોઈ આંખમાં આંખ મિલાવીને વાત કરતું હોય તો ખબર પડી જાય ને, રાઈટ? એટલે સીધું સ્વામીજી મને કહે, સ્વામીજી મારી તરફ પેલું કરીને કહે છે કે આપણાથી ગાળો ના બોલાય. હવે હું તો ફોન પર, વોટ્સએપ પર એન્ક્રિપ્ટેડ મેસેજમાં વાત કરું છું. સ્વામીજીને કેવી રીતે ખબર પડે? કંઈ ડેટા સેન્ટર લગાવ્યું છે, કંઈ એન્ક્રિપ્શન કરેલું છે હરિધામમાં કે ખબર પડે કે આ ભાઈ શું વાતો કરે છે? ના, સર્વજ્ઞ પુરુષ છે, રાઈટ? એને બધાનું ખબર હોય, શું કરતા હોઈએ, ક્યારે કરતા હોઈએ, કેમ કરતા હોઈએ, એ એનું સર્વજ્ઞપણું છે. એવી જ રીતે પ્રબોધ સ્વામીજી 2016માં ખજોદમાં સમયો હતો અને પ્રબોધ સ્વામીજી હજુ તો ગુરુપદે નથી, સ્વામીજી છે, પણ એમનો ઉતારો નટુદાના ઘરે હતો. એટલે પ્રબોધ સ્વામીજી આરામ કરતા હતા અને નટુદા 4 વાગે ઠાકોરજીને ઉઠાડે છે અને પાણી ધરાવે છે ઠાકોરજીને. તો પંચમૂર્તિઓને ત્યારે તો સ્વામીજી એટલે પ્રભુ સ્વામીની મૂર્તિ મંદિરે નહીં પધરાઈ હતી, ખાલી સહજાનંદ સ્વામી, ગુણાતીતાનંદ સ્વામી, શાસ્ત્રીજી મહારાજ, યોગીજી મહારાજ અને સ્વામીજી એ પાંચેય મૂર્તિઓને પાણી ધરાયા પછી મનમાં નટુદા એવી પ્રાર્થના કરે છે કે હે પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી પાણી ગ્રહણ કરો. પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી ઉપર આરામ કરે છે, ઓકે, અને નટુદા મનમાં ઠાકોરજી આગળ પ્રભુ સ્વામીજીને પાણી ધરાવે છે. અને એ જ મોમેન્ટે પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી નીચે ઉતરે છે અને કશું પણ કીધા વગર એક વાક્ય બોલે છે, મારે તો આરામ કરવો હતો પણ નટુદાએ મને ઉઠાડી દીધો. તો આ કોણ કરી શકે? કોઈના મનમાં શું વિચારો ચાલે છે એ તો કોઈને કેવી રીતે ખબર પડે, રાઈટ? પણ પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી એવા પુરુષ છે. આપણે 2021ની વાત કરીએ, આપણે યુટ્યુબ પર કેટલા બધા વિડીયો જોયા છે, નહીં? બધું થયું એના હરિધામમાં. જસ્ટ ઇમેજિન કે પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી પોતે કેવા હશે, એને સાધક તરીકે કેવું જીવન જીવ્યા હશે. 1999માં સ્વામીજી અને પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી લંડનથી ન્યુયોર્ક પધારે છે. કયા પ્લેનમાં? કોન્કોર્ડ. એ પ્લેનમાં પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી જોડે સેવામાં હતા. અને ગેસ વોટ, એમણે શું પહેર્યું હતું ખબર? પેલી ભૂરી પટ્ટીવાળા બાટાના ચંપલ આવે ને, ઇન્ડિયામાં જોયા છે? કેન વી ઇમેજિન ધીસ? એની સાદગીનો એ કેવા હશે? બીજી વસ્તુ, 50 વર્ષ 1972 સાધુની દીક્ષા લીધી, આજે 2026 ચાલે છે, ઓલમોસ્ટ 54 યર્સ થવાના. 54, મેં એકચ્યુઅલી 50 વર્ષનું જ કેલ્ક્યુલેટ કર્યું હતું. 250 એ 18,250 દિવસ થાય 50 વર્ષના, 4 વર્ષના ગણ્યા નહીં. એની સિન્સિયરિટી કેવી હશે? એવરી ડે, ઈચ એન્ડ એવરી ડે, કોઈ બી ટાઈમ ઝોનમાં હોય, વેધર એ ઓસ્ટ્રેલિયા, ન્યૂઝીલેન્ડ હોય, સિંગાપોર હોય, ઇન્ડિયામાં વિચરણ કરતા હોય, ગલ્ફ કન્ટ્રીમાં વિચરણ કરતા હોય, યુરોપમાં વિચરણ કરતા હોય કે અમેરિકા, નોર્થ અમેરિકામાં વિચરણ કરતા હોય, ઇન્ક્લુડિંગ કેલિફોર્નિયા. 18,250 દિવસ, એક ટાઈમે 1 કલાકની પૂજા, 50 વર્ષ. એની સિન્સિયરિટી કેવી હશે? કેવા પુરુષ હશે? 18,250 દિવસ. આજે બી હું 20 મિનિટની પૂજા એવરી ડે એક ટાઈમે નહીં કરી શકતો, અને છતાં બી એ મને એની જોડે રાખે છે. કેવા નિરપેક્ષ પુરુષ હશે? એને શું, મારી પાસે શું મળવાનું છે, હું શું આપી નાખવાનો છું? એની ઉપરની વાત, 2021માં સ્વામીજી સ્વધામ પધાર્યા, પણ કહેવાનો મિનિંગ એટલો જ છે કે એ આપણને એમનો સંબંધ આપવા માટે આવ્યા છે. બસ આપણે એના નિસ્વાર્થ પ્રેમને સમજવું છે. એને કાંઈ સ્વાર્થ નથી, એને કોઈને સ્વામિનારાયણ બનાવવા નથી, રાઈટ? આપણે ખાલી એના નિસ્વાર્થ પ્રેમને સમજી શકીએ એટલું એમની પાસે બુદ્ધિયોગ માંગવો છે, તો આપણામાં ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટ આવે એમાં કોઈ શંકા છે નહીં. હે મહારાજ, હે પ્રભુ સ્વામીજી, બોલતા તો ખૂબ આવડે છે, પણ આ વસ્તુ અને આ મહિમા અમારા અને મારા લાઈફમાં સ્થિર થાય એ જ આપના ચરણે અંતરની પ્રાર્થના. સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. હાજી, એકચ્યુઅલી જે ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટની આખી સિરીઝ ચાલે છે એમાં એક બીજો પ્રસંગ બી છે, શેર કરવાનો રહી ગયો, પણ આઈ થિંક કે આપણે એને જોઈએ તો એ વધારે ઇફેક્ટ આપશે. સો લેટ્સ હેવ ધ ટીમ. થેન્ક યુ. જય સોમનાથ.
So Laksh, you are a very successful individual right now. If you had to go back in time, what's that one advice you would give to your younger version?
સલાહ એને કહેવા માટે તો ઘણું બધું છે, પણ એ મારી વાત સાંભળશે ખરો? યંગ લક્ષ્ય, એનું તો કઈ લક્ષ્ય જ જુદું હતું.
So Laksh, you are lucky because we do have a calling technology which could help you connect with your younger version. Are you ready?
ખરેખર? Is it possible? If it's possible, then definitely. Let's do it.
આ કોનો ફોન આવે છે? અરે આ સામે છે કોણ?
ફિલ્ટર નહીં, ફ્યુચર. લક્ષ્ય આ તું જ છે. આઈ એમ યોર ફ્યુચર વર્ઝન ફ્રોમ 2026.
ઇઝ ધીસ રિયલ? ઓ તેરી, હું તો કેટલો બદલાઈ ગયો છું ને આટલો બધો મોટો થઈ ગયો. પણ આ સૂટ બૂટમાં તો બાકી આપણો જામો પડે છે. હો, પણ તું એ કે આ સૂટ પહેરીને અત્યારે કોની જાનમાં જાય છે તું?
અરે ના ના, કોઈની જાનમાં નથી જતો. આ તો મારું ડેઈલીનું જોબનું અટાયર છે.
શું? ડેઈલીનું જોબનું અટાયર સૂટ? નાઉ આઈ હેવ સો મેની ક્વેશ્ચન્સ. હજુ તો મેં રટગર્સમાં અપ્લાય કર્યું છે ને આપણને શું એડમિશન મળી ગયું? અને મને એ કે આપણી પાસે કઈ કાર છે અત્યારે? અને વેઇટ, આ પાછળ લાઇટિંગ્સ અને દિવાલ તો આપણા અપાર્ટમેન્ટ જેવી નથી લાગતી. સાચે સાચું બોલ, કોના ઘરે છે તું? કોના ઘેર ધાડ પાડી છે?
ઉભો રે, શાંતિ રાખ, તને બધું કહું છું. લક્ષ્ય આ આપણું જ ઘર છે.
શું? આ આપણું ઘર છે? હું આટલો બધો પૈસા વાળો થઈ ગયો? સાચે સાચું કે કઈ લોટરી લાગી કે પછી પેલી માલામાલ વીકલી જેવી સીન છે? બાકી તને કહું, આ મારે પેલા બંટી જોડે પાર્ટી કરવા જવું હોય ને તો $25-50 ઉછીના લેવા પડે છે લોકો પાસે.
ના રે ના, કોઈ લોટરી નથી લાગી.
શું? કોઈ લોટરી નથી લાગી? તો તું મને એ કે લોટરી નથી લાગી તો આટલું બધું આલીશાન ઘર, આ સૂટ બૂટના ઠાઠ, કાર, આ બધું શું એમને જ થઈ ગયું? ને આવું મને કરવું હોય તો મારે સાલું કરવું શું પડે? તારી પાસે શું કોઈ જાદુઈ સ્ટીક આવી ગઈ છે?
ના ના, કોઈ જાદુઈ લાકડી પણ નથી. બટ યુ કેન કોલ ઇટ અ ડોમિનો ઇફેક્ટ. હાઉ વન કરેક્ટ ચોઇસ કેન લીડ્સ ટુ અ કેસ્કેડ ઓફ ઇવેન્ટ that will change everything.
શું કોઈ મેજિક સ્ટીક પણ નથી? લક્ષ્ય, હવે આ તારી બધી વાતો છે ને મારા માથાની ઉપરથી જાય છે. કારણ કે મને તો એક જ વસ્તુ ખબર છે કે ડોમિનોઝના પીઝા ખાવાના હોય, અને જયારે હું પીઝા ખાવા જાઉં છું ને ત્યારે પૈસા મારે પોતે આપવા પડે છે, કે એ લોકો સામેથી નહીં આલતા. મને નથી ખબર કે ભાઈ આટલો બધો બોરિંગ થઈ જઈશ હું 2026માં, પણ એટલું ખબર પડી ગઈ છે કે મોટા ફાંકા મારતા જરૂર આવડી જશે.
જો તને ના મનાતું હોય તો હવે હું ફોન મૂકી દઉં?
અરે ના, હજુ તો મારે ઘણું બધું પૂછવાનું છે. બોલ.
તને પેલા મુકેશભાઈ યાદ છે?
હા, યાદ જ હોય ને. હમણાં 5 મિનિટ પહેલા એમનો જ ફોન હતો, અને જ્યારે હોય ત્યારે ફોન પર એક જ વાત કરે, આ સભામાં આવો. ને હવે તો કેટલી વાર હું એમનો ફોન નહીં ઉચકતો. અને તને તો ખબર છે ને, તું તો મને ઓળખે ને, મને આ સભા બભા ના પાવે. છેક ઇન્ડિયા થી US કઈ સભા ભરવા આવ્યા છે? આપણે તો ખાલી એન્જોય કરવા આવ્યા છે. શું એન્જોય?
હા, એ સભા જ આપણો પહેલો ડોમિનો હતો. That single choice changed everything.
લક્ષ્ય, તું સાવ ડોસા જેવો થઈ ગયો છે. આ કેવી વડીલો જેવી સિરિયસ વાતો કરે છે. આ મને હું કેવો ખુશખુશાલ છું, બિંદાસ છું, છે કોઈ ટેન્શન, છે કોઈ સ્ટ્રેસ? અને તું જો આ તારા ચહેરા તરફ જો, સાવ ગંભીર થઈ ગયો છે, ને ખાલી બધી મોટી બોમિનોની વાતો કરે છે. તને કહું, હવે મને છે ને ખરેખર તારી વાતો સાંભળીને ઊંઘ આવવા.
મને ખબર હતી કે તું આમ નહીં માને. હું તને બરોબર ઓળખું છું, કારણ કે હું તો તારો ફ્યુચર છું ને. પણ આ એક ડોમિનો એ તારા જીવનનું એવું ડિસિઝન લેવડાવશે કે આપણી આખી જિંદગી બદલાઈ જશે.
ડિસિઝન? અને એ પણ સરસ. કયું ડિસિઝન? નવી સ્પોર્ટ્સ બાઇક લેવાનું કે પછી માયામી જઈને પાર્ટી કરવાનું?
લક્ષ્ય, તું નહીં માને. ચાલ હું તને લાઈવ જ બતાવું કે તે દિવસે એક્ઝેક્ટલી થયું તું શું.
બહુ કન્ફ્યુઝન છે જીવનમાં, સાલું બહુ કન્ફ્યુઝન છે, કશું સમજાતું નથી. આ તમને કહું, આ જુઓ, કોલ ઓફ ડ્યુટી, WWE, GTA, ક્રિકેટ, કેટલી ગેમો છે ને મને સાલું એ નહીં સમજાતું કે આમાંની કઈ ગેમો પહેલા રમવું ને કઈ પછી, ને આ ગેમો રમવાની રહી ગઈ તો ચાલો હવે તમે જ બધા મને કહો કે આમાંની કઈ ગેમ પહેલા રમવા જેવી છે. બાય ધ વે નેક્સ્ટ વીક એક નાની એક્ઝામ પણ છે, પણ એક્ઝામનું તો જોયું જ હશે. મેન કન્ફ્યુઝન આ ગેમોનું છે. ખબર નહીં આ કન્ફ્યુઝન કેમનું દૂર થશે.
અલા ઓ મારા ભાઈ, તું શું કરવા આટલી ચિંતા કરે છે? આ તારો ભાઈ બેઠો છે ને, તું મને કે ખાલી તારી બધી જ ટેન્શન દૂર કરી દઉં.
હા વાવ બંટી મારા ભાઈ, તારી જ જરૂર હતી. આ જો નવી ગેમો આવી છે, WWE છે, ક્રિકેટ છે, કોલ ઓફ ડ્યુટી છે, ને મને એ નહીં સમજાતું કે આમાંની કઈ પહેલા રમવું ને કઈ પછી, ને આનો સિલેબસ ના પૈતો તો, ને વચમાં એક નાની એક્ઝામ છે. પણ ભાઈ પહેલા આનું આ કન્ફ્યુઝન દૂર કર મારું.
બતાડ મને. આ તો આપણી પતી ગઈ છે, આ પણ આપણી પતી ગઈ છે.
ક્યારે?
અલા તારો ભાઈ પ્રો છે, પ્રો.
એ તો છે.
અરે એક સેકન્ડ, તું વચ્ચે શું બોલેલો?
શું
એક્ઝામ? એક્ઝામ ક્યારે છે?
એટલે નેક્સ્ટ વીક આપણી એક્ઝામ છે ને એક.
અરે મારા ભાઈ, એ તો છેક નેક્સ્ટ વીક છે. તું કાલનું વિચાર. કાલે આપણે મૂવી જોવાનું નક્કી કર્યું હતું, તે એની ટિકિટ બુક કરાઈ કે નહીં?
એ તો બાકી છે, હજુ કરાઈ દેશ. પણ
તો તું એનું ટેન્શન કર.
થેન્ક યુ મારા ભાઈ, તે મારું કન્ફ્યુઝન દૂર કર્યું. કાલે આપણે મૂવી જોવાનું પાક્કું, બરાબર છે?
પાક્કું.
લા આ કોણ આવ્યું? આ તો મુકેશભાઈ છે.
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ લક્ષભાઈ, કેમ છો?
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ મુકેશભાઈ.
કેવું ચાલે છે બધું?
બસ ચાલે જ. હવે
આજે હું એ કહેવા આવ્યો છું કે આજે આપણા ઘરમાં સભા છે અને તમને ચોક્કસ આવવું પડશે. કંઈક બહાના નહીં કાઢતા.
હા અમે આવશું.
થોડીક વાર તો થોડીક વાર, બટ ચોક્કસ આવજો.
હા હા મુકેશભાઈ, તમે પહેલા પહોંચો, તમારા ઘરે સભા છે, અમે પાછળ પાછળ જ પહોંચો તમે.
અલા યાર, આ સભા બાબા શું છે?
અલા મુકેશભાઈ કેટલા દિવસથી મને ક્યાં કરે છે કે સભામાં આવો, સભામાં આવો, ને આજે તો એમના અપાર્ટમેન્ટમાં જ સભા છે, તો ફોર્માલિટી ખાતર જઈ આવ્યા આપણે સભામાં. બરાબર છે?
આજે ચિરાગભાઈ અને દીપકભાઈ બહુ સરસ લાભ આપ્યો. જે પ્રમાણે દીપકભાઈને કહ્યું તે પ્રમાણે સ્વામીશ્રી પણ કહેતા, જે સભા ભરે તેના તનની, મનની, ધનની અને આત્માની જવાબદારી ભગવાન પોતે લઈ લે. તો આજે સ્વામીજીના ચરણે એ જ પ્રાર્થના કે અમે બધાને સભા ભરવાની સાનુકૂળતા કરી આપે. સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય.
લા બંટી, આ તનની મનની તો નહીં ખબર, પણ ભગવાન જો ધનની જવાબદારી લેતા હોય તો આપણે કંઈક વિચારીએ.
બિલકુલ.
બરાબર.
આવ લક્ષભાઈ, હું તમને ચિરાગભાઈ અને દીપકભાઈ મળાવું.
હા.
જય સ્વામી. આ ચિરાગભાઈ એમની પોતાની સીપીએ ફર્મ છે. આ દીપકભાઈ એ લીડ સોફ્ટવેર એન્જિનિયર છે. ચિરાગભાઈ આ લક્ષભાઈ.
લક્ષભાઈ જય સોમનારાયણ.
જય સોમનારાયણ.
આવી રીતે સભામાં આવતા રહેજો. હા
હા.
અને તમને કંઈ પણ જરૂર હોય મને કોલ કરવામાં ખચકાતા નહીં. તમે એક કામ કરો, મારો ફોન નંબર લઈ લો.
હા બોલજો.
લાવ હું લખી આપું. ચિરાગ ઠક્કર.
હા
મળીશું. ઠીક છે? જય સોમનારાયણ. આવતા રહેજો ભાઈ તમે પણ. જય સોમનારાયણ.
લા બંટી, આ સભામાં તો કેટલા અકમ્પ્લીસ્ડ લોકો આવે છે. આપણને આપણા કરિયરમાં બહુ કામ આવે એમ છે.
આ સભા તો એક સામાન્ય ગેધરિંગ જેવું લાગ્યું, ને એમાં તો વળી આપણે જિંદગીનું એવું કયું બેસ્ટ ડિસિઝન લઈ લીધું. આ સભામાંથી આપણને ઘણા એવા સારા મિત્રો પણ મળ્યા ને, જેને કારણે તો આપણે અત્યારે અહીંયા સુધી પહોંચ્યા છે. અરે ભાઈ, મિત્રો તો છે જ ને. આપણો બંટી આ દીવો લઈને જાય ને તોય બંટી જેવો મિત્ર ના મળે. ને તને કહું, મારે અડધી રાતે જો પીઝા ખાવા હોય ને કે પછી મૂવી જોવા જવું હોય, બંટી ઓલવેઝ રેડી જ હોય. તું કે એના જો મિત્ર મળે ખરો? હા, એ વાત તો તારી સાચી, પણ આ સભામાંથી આપણને ઘણા બીજા નવા મિત્રો પણ મળ્યા ને. અરે પણ તું એ કે અત્યારે બંટી છે ક્યાં 2026 ને એ ક્યાં જોબ કરે છે? આપણી આજુબાજુ તો રહે છે ને. હવે શું કહું તને, આપણે એનજીઆઈટીમાં એડમિશન લીધું અને બંટીએ રટગર્સમાં એને જુદા જુદા ક્લબ જોઈન કર્યા અને એનું જે જૂનું ગ્રુપ હતું એ બદલાઈ ગયું અને એને નવા મિત્રો મળ્યા. અને તું નહીં માને, એના કેટલાક મિત્રો તો ડ્રગ્સ લેતા હતા અને એ જોઈ જઈને બંટીએ ડ્રગ્સ લેવાનું ચાલુ કર્યું. મને તો માનવામાં જ નથી આવતું, કારણ કે બંટી કદાચ પાર્ટી કરી શકે, જલસા કરી શકે, પણ ડ્રગ્સ, બંટી ક્યારેય ડ્રગ્સ ના લે. ખરેખર ખાલી ડ્રગ્સ જ નહીં, બંટીએ તો કોલેજ ડ્રોપ આઉટ કરી અને એ પછી હુક્કા બાર ખોલ્યો, હુક્કા બાર. ને એમાં એક માઇનર ને હુક્કા વેચતા પોલીસે પકડ્યો ને એને તો જેલમાં જવું પડ્યું. અરે બાપ રે, આપણો બંટી અને એ પણ જેલમાં. મેં તો આવું ક્યારે સપનામાં નહોતું વિચાર્યું. આજે 2026 થયું અને એ વાતને 10 વર્ષ થયા અને બંટીનો તો હજુ બેચલર્સ નહીં પત્યું. અને હું આજે વિચારું છું કે જો એ 10 વર્ષ પહેલા આપણને જો આ સભા અને આવા સારા મિત્રો ના મળ્યા હોત તો આપણે કઈક બંટી જેવું જેલમાં જવું પડત. નાવ આઈ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ વાય યુ સેડ કે આપણે સભા ભરવાનું ચાલુ કર્યું એ આપણી જિંદગીનું બેસ્ટ ડિસિઝન હતું. વેલ, ધેટ વોઝ જસ્ટ ધ બિગિનિંગ. ચાલ હું હવે તને બતાવું કે સભાએ કઈ રીતે આપણને પોઝિટિવ બનાવ્યા અને કઈ રીતે સાચા ટ્રેક પર લઈ ગયા.
સ્વામીજી છે ને કાયમ એક વાત કહેતા કે પ્રથમ 16 અને પ્રથમ 18 એ પાયાના વચનામૃત છે. તો આ બે વચનામૃત પ્રમાણે કોઈ જીવે કે પોતાની 5 સેન્સીસને પોઝિટિવ રાખે તો એ યુવાન ધારે તે કરી શકે. તો આપણે આજે સ્વામીજીના ચરણે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ કે આપણને એવું બળ આપે કે આપણે બે વચનામૃત પ્રમાણે જીવી શકીએ. સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. હવે આપણે સૌ નેક્સ્ટ વીક એનજીઆઈટીની સભામાં મળીશું.
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ ચિંટુભાઈ.
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ લક્ષભાઈ, કેમ છો?
આજે સભામાં તમે પ્રથમ 16 પર ખૂબ સરસ વાત કરી. મને પણ ખબર છે કે જો હું મારી સેન્સીસને પોઝિટિવ રાખું તો સ્ટડીમાં ખૂબ સારું ફોકસ થઈ શકે. પણ ચિંટુભાઈ સાચું કહું, મારાથી આ પોઝિટિવ નથી રખાતું. એનું કોઈક સોલ્યુશન છે કે નહીં?
લક્ષ્યભાઈ, એના માટે તો એક ટ્રીક છે.
ટ્રીક?
હા, સ્વામીજી કહે છે કે જેનો સ્વધર્મ ટોપ હોય એની સાથે આપણે ફ્રેન્ડશિપ રાખીએ તો આપણે પણ એમના જેવા થઈ જઈએ. એટલે આપણી સભામાં પ્રભુશીલભાઈ ખરા ને?
હા, પ્રભુશીલભાઈ.
એમનો સ્વધર્મ લાકડા જેવો છે. સ્વામીજી એવું ઘણી વાર કહ્યું છે. તો તમે એમની સાથે ફ્રેન્ડશિપ કરી લો.
થેન્ક યુ ચિંટુભાઈ. હું પ્રભુશીલભાઈ જોડે ચોક્કસથી ફ્રેન્ડશિપ કરી લઈશ.
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ.
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. યસ, આઈ ગોટ ધી સોલ્યુશન. એ પછી આપણે પ્રભુશીલભાઈ જોડે ફ્રેન્ડશિપ કરવાનું શરૂ કરીએ એ પહેલા તો પ્રભુશીલભાઈએ આપણી જોડે ફ્રેન્ડશિપ કરી દીધી. અને તને ખબર છે, પ્રભુશીલભાઈ પસેકમાં જ રહેતા અને આપણી જ સ્કૂલમાં ભણતા હતા. એ રીતે તો એ આપણા સિનિયર કહેવાય. ઓ મેન, ટોકિંગ ટુ પ્રભુશીલભાઈ વોઝ સો રિલેટેબલ. તો હવે યાર આટલી વાતો કરે છે પ્રભુશીલભાઈની, તો મારે વહેલી તકે એમની જોડે ફ્રેન્ડશિપ કરી લેવી પડશે. તારે એ માટે બહુ વેઇટ નહીં કરવો પડે. અને તને ખબર છે, આપણી જીવનનો હજુ મેઇન ડોમિનો તો હજુ હવે આવશે. યાર
બેસ્ટ ડોમિનો હજુ હવે આવશે? નાવ આઈ એમ વેરી ક્યુરિયસ ટુ નો. આપણને પ્રભુશીલભાઈ, ચિરાગભાઈ જેવા સારા મિત્રો મળ્યા અને એને કારણે આપણને ગુરુ હરિપ્રસાદ સ્વામીજી જોડે દર્શન કરવાનો અને એમની જોડે પર્સનલ કન્વર્ઝેશન કરવાની તક મળી. ઓ મેન, that was the best moment of our life. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ સ્વામીજી.
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. પસૈક મંડળમાં રેગ્યુલર સભા ભરે છે. આજે આપને એક પ્રાર્થના કરવી છે. બોલો બોલો. હું નવરો જ છું.
સ્વામીજી, મારે બધા સબ્જેક્ટમાં એ લાવવો છે અને મારી બુદ્ધિ કુશાગ્ર બને અને હું પોઝિટિવિટીથી જીવતો થાવ તેવી કૃપા કરજો.
બધા જ નખરા બંધ કરી દેવાના, બરાબર? અને આપણાથી જે આગળ હોય એની સાથે મિત્રતા રાખવાની, બરાબર?
હાજી હાજી સ્વામીજી. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. અલા, આ તો ચૈતન્યભાઈ છે. એકદમ જીનિયસ અને ટોપર વ્યક્તિ છે. ને સ્વામીજીએ મને કીધું હતું કે આપણે આપણાથી જે આગળ હોય એની જોડે દોસ્તી કરવાની. તો ચાલો ચાલો હું પહેલા એમને મળી લઉં. અરે ચૈતન્યભાઈ, કેમ છો?
અરે લક્ષ્યભાઈ, જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. કેમ છો?
જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. મજામાં.
બેસો બેસો. બોલો
ચૈતન્યભાઈ, મારે તમારી એક હેલ્પ જોઈતી હતી.
હા બોલો ને.
આપણે એક્ઝામ આવી રહી છે અને અસાઇનમેન્ટ મારે ઘણા કરવાના છે, તો તમે મને મદદ કરશો એના માટે?
કેમ નહીં.
તમારો કોન્ટેક્ટ મળી શકે મને?
પાક્કું. લાવો તમારો ફોન આપો મને. આપણે મહેનત ચાલુ કરી દેવાની છે.
હા, આજથી જ મહેનત ચાલુ કરી દે તો?
અત્યારથી જ કરી દઈએ આપણે. ચલો, હું અત્યારે કરતો જ તો. ચલો આવી જાઓ.
ચૈતન્યભાઈ, તમે નહીં માનો, મારા 4.0 જીપી આયા. 4.0.
શું વાત કરો છો લક્ષ્યભાઈ? ખૂબ 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 અભિનંદન તમને.
થેન્ક યુ ચૈતન્યભાઈ. પણ આ તમારી મહેનતને કારણે જ મારા 4.0 જીપી આયા છે. થેન્ક યુ સો મચ.
નહીં લક્ષ્યભાઈ, વી નીડ ટુ થેન્ક સ્વામીજી. ઇટ ઇઝ ઓલ બીકોઝ ઓફ હિમ. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. ચલો આપણે છે ને આઈસ્ક્રીમ જમવા જઈએ.
ચલો ચલો.
We got 4.0. I can't believe I will be a topper one day. There are so many things that happened since 2012. You won't believe it. સ્વામીજીની એક જ આજ્ઞાએ આપણને બેક વેન્ચરમાંથી ટોપર બનાવી દીધા. Yes. Now I am eager to meet સ્વામીજી in person. હા, આપણા સ્વામીજી છે જેવા. પણ ઉભો રે, સ્વામીજીની એ આજ્ઞા એ ખાલી સ્ટડી પૂરતી નહોતી, પણ આપણે આપણા જીવનમાં જે આપણા કરતા વધારે પોઝિટિવ હોય, સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ હોય, તેના સાથે આપણે ફ્રેન્ડશીપ વધારી. તો તેનાથી શું થાય? તેનાથી આપણને ચિરાગભાઈ અને કિશનજી જેવા મિત્ર મળ્યા અને એ મિત્રતાને કારણે સ્વામીજીએ અને ગુરુ હરિએ આપણા જીવનમાં પોઝિટિવિટી અને આત્મીયતા વધારી. ચાલો હવે તને કિશનજી સાથેનું એક કન્વર્ઝેશન શેર કરું.
મજા આવી નહીં લક્ષ્યભાઈ?
હા હા ચૈતન્યભાઈ, તમારી સાથે એક વાત શેર કરું?
બોલો ને.
હમણાં થોડી વાર પહેલા જ કિશનજીના દર્શન થયા.
શું વાત કરો છો?
ને એટલું જ નહીં, એમની સાથે પર્સનલ કન્વર્ઝેશન કરવાની તક મળી મને. ને મને કેટલાય દિવસથી અંદર છે ને હું મૂંઝાયા કરતો હતો, પણ આજે તો મેં કિશનજીને પૂછી જ લીધું.
શું વાત કરો છો?
મેં કિશનજીને પૂછ્યું કે કિશનજી, હું ઘણી ગોષ્ઠી સાંભળું છું, ઘણી વસ્તુ ખબર પણ પડે છે, પણ અંદર બહુ કન્ફ્યુઝન છે. મને એ ખબર જ નથી કે મારે જીવનમાં એકચ્યુઅલી કરવાનું શું છે.
પછી કિશનજી શું કીધું?
કિશનજીએ મને બે વાત કીધી. પહેલા મને એવું કીધું કે આપણને જે પણ સેવા આવે એ સેવા મને ગમે કે ના ગમે હા કહી દેવાનું.
વાહ. પછી?
ને બીજું એવું કીધું કે સેવા કરતી વખતે જે આજુબાજુ ભક્તો મુક્તો હોય છે એમને મારે મારાથી ખૂબ મોટા માનવાના.
થેન્ક યુ લક્ષ્યભાઈ ફોર શેરિંગ ધીસ વિથ મી. આ તો મને પણ લાગુ પડે છે. હા હા, આવું મારે જવું પડશે. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ.
હા મળી. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ.
કેમ
જય
છો?
સ્વામિનારાયણ ચૈતન્યભાઈ, હું મજામાં છું.
એકદમ મજામાં. એકદમ સરસ સરસ. મારે તમને એક વાત કરવી હતી, કરું?
હા હા પૂછો ને.
હું ખાસા ટાઈમથી નોટિસ કરી રહ્યો છું, તમને જ્યારે પણ કોઈ પણ સેવા મળે તમે ક્યારે પણ ના નથી પાડતા, અને ગમે તેટલું બિઝી સ્કેડ્યુલ હોય તો પણ તમે તમારું સ્કેડ્યુલ એડજસ્ટ કરીને પણ સેવા કરી લો છો.
સાચું કહું ચૈતન્યભાઈ, તમે પહેલા મને બહુ અઘરું લાગતું, પણ પેલી જ્યારથી કિશનજી જોડે કન્વર્ઝેશન થઈ છે ને એમાં કિશનજીએ બે વસ્તુ કીધી હતી. પહેલું એવું કીધું હતું કે સેવા આવે એટલે ના નહીં કહેવાનું, હા કહી દેવાનું. તમે નહીં માનો, એ પછી કેટલી સેવા મારી કેપેસિટી બહારની આવી પણ છતાં પણ થઈ ગઈ. ને બીજું એવું કીધું હતું કે જે મુક્તો હોય એ આપણા કરતાં ખૂબ મોટા છે, ને એવું થોડું ઘણું ટ્રાય કર્યું મેં એવું માનવાનું, તો એમનું નેગેટિવ જોવાનું ને ક્રિટિસાઇઝ કરવાનું ઘણું ઓછું થઈ ગયું.
વાહ, તમે બહુ સરસ વાત કરી. સ્વામીજી અમને પણ આવી સમજણ અને બુદ્ધિ આપે એવી અમારા માટે પણ પ્રાર્થના કરજો. જય
જય
સ્વામિનારાયણ.
સ્વામિનારાયણ. જય સ્વામિનારાયણ.
Oh my God! Now I'm so excited for my future. અલા, આ તો મુકેશભાઈ છે. Well, this is the day when your first domino falls.
It was a quite eventful journey. But I just played the role of someone else. Now let's call upon a stage whose story we have just witnessed.
સજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. ઇટ્સ બીન મોર દેન 10 years. આજે પ્લે કરતા હતા ત્યારે બધું લાઈવ આંખની આગળ થતું હતું એવું લાગ્યું. બટ માય થોટ્સ વર વેરી ડિફરન્ટ 10 years બેક. આપણો એક ગોલ હતો કે બેચલર રમતા રમતા પૂરું કરવું છે, બંટી જોડે મજા કરતા કરતા અને બીજા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ જોડે, અને 60K ની ખાલી જોબ લેવી છે એ ગોલ હતો. બટ થિંગ્સ ચેન્જ્ડ. ઇટ ટર્ન આઉટ ડિફરન્ટલી ફોર ગુડ. And it's only because of Sabha. So, can you please bring out that first domino? So, Sabha is the very first domino of my journey. So, 2013 માં પહેલી સભા આપણા ભાવેશભાઈ છે એમને ત્યાં ભરી, મુકેશભાઈને એ લોકો બોલાવવા આવ્યા હતા એટલે. પછી ધીમે ધીમે NJIT માં સભા ભરવાનું સ્ટાર્ટ કર્યું 2013 ફોલથી. અને ચિંતુભાઈ અને પ્રભુશીલભાઈ બધા જોડે દોસ્તી થઈ, અને દોસ્તી થઈ પછી ધીમે ધીમે વિચારો ચેન્જ થવા લાગ્યા. જે આપણા ગોલ્સ અહીંયા હતા ત્યાંથી ઉપર જવા લાગ્યા ધીમે ધીમે, કારણ કે સમજણ આવતી ગઈ. અને લૌકિક નહીં પણ સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ બી થોડું થોડું વધારે સમજાતું ગયું એમના એસોસિએશનથી. એટલે ધીમે ધીમે વિચારો બદલાયા બધા. સો કેન યુ પ્લીઝ બ્રિંગ આઉટ ધ ફોલોઈંગ ડોમિનો. સો ધ સેકન્ડ ડોમિનો ઇઝ ફ્રેન્ડ્સ. પછી જેમ જેમ સભા ભરી તેમ તેમ સ્વામીજીની ગોષ્ઠી સાંભળતા ગયા અને સંતોની, જેથી કરીને વધારે સૂઝ આવતી ગઈ. અને પછી ધીમે ધીમે વચનામૃતમાં ડૂબતો ગયો. તો કોલેજનો મારો એક એવો ટાઈમ હતો જ્યારે હું દરરોજના સવારે પ્રથમ 16 અને પ્રથમ 18 પૂજામાં વાંચતો અને 15 મિનિટ ભજન કરીને જતો. એવું લગભગ મેં 1 થી 2 વર્ષ જેવું કરેલું. એનું ફળ શું મળ્યું કે સ્વામીજીની ગોષ્ઠીની એક વાત હતી કે આપણે 5 ફૂટથી આગળ નથી જોવું. તો એ 5 ફૂટથી આગળ લિટરલી નહોતું જોવાતું. જ્યારે આ વસ્તુ હું કરતો હતો ત્યારે એટલું સ્વામીજી બળ આપતા હતા. અને કોલેજમાં તો ખબર જ છે કે આ વસ્તુ અપ્લાય કરવી બહુ અઘરી છે, પણ છતાંય એન્ઝાયટીમાં ભણતો હતો ત્યારે આ સહેજે થતી હતી. કેન યુ પ્લીઝ બ્રિંગ ધી થર્ડ ડોમિનો આઉટ? કથા વાર્તા. પછી સ્વામીજીના આશીર્વાદ મળ્યા 2015માં સમરમાં, કે જ્યારે મેં કંઠી પહેરેલી. આશીષભાઈ આપણા પટેલ છે, રિચફિલ્ડમાં રહેતા હતા ત્યારે. તો ત્યારે મેં સ્વામીજીને પ્રાર્થના કરેલી કે સ્વામીજી મારા બધા એ આવે અને કુશાગ્ર બુદ્ધિ અને પ્રેક્ટિકલ સેન્સથી જીવન જીવાય. આ જે સેકન્ડ પાર્ટ જે છે તે સ્વામીજીની કથા વાર્તામાંથી જ મળેલો, એટલે એ પ્રાર્થના કરેલી. 2 પ્રાર્થના કરી એટલે સ્વામીજીએ સામે જવાબ આપેલો કે આપણાથી આગળ હોય એ વ્યક્તિ જોડે દોસ્તી રાખવાની કોઈ બી ફિલ્ડમાં. અને બીજું એના સિવાયનું જે બીજું જે છે, એટલે સ્વામીજી આ વર્ડ યુઝ કરેલો ધંધા નખરા, કે એ બંધ કરી દેવાના. દેટ ઇન્ક્લુડ્સ એવરીથિંગ, મૂવીઝ, રોંગ ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, યુ નેમ ઇટ. એટલે એ 2 વસ્તુ બંધ કર્યું. એક વસ્તુ ચાલુ કર્યું કે ચૈતન્યભાઈ જોડે ફ્રેન્ડશીપ રાખી, જે મારાથી આગળ હતા અને આગળ છે. અને બીજું જે નથી કરવાનું તે નહીં કર્યું. તો એના કારણે ફોલ 2015 જે સેમેસ્ટર હતું એમાં 4.0 જીપીએ આવેલો. એટલે એક સ્વામીજીના આશીર્વાદથી આટલું થયેલું. સો ધ ફોર્થ ડોમિનો ઇઝ આશીર્વાદ. જેમ જેમ સત્સંગ કરતા ગયા અને લોકલ જેમ મુકેશભાઈ છે, આશીષભાઈ છે, બધા જોડે દોસ્તી રાખતા ગયા, તેમ તેમ આગળ એક બીજી સૂઝ આવી કે આપણે ચિરાગભાઈ છે, કિશનજી છે, એમની જોડે બી આપણે ઉઠક બેઠક રાખવી છે, એમનું આપણે એસોસિએશન કરવું છે. એટલે મારી લાઈફમાં જો તો ચિરાગભાઈનું સ્પેસિફિકલી વાત કરું, થેન્ક યુ, તો ચિરાગભાઈએ એક વસ્તુ એકદમ ક્લિયર કરાયેલું કે કોઈ બી પરિસ્થિતિ હોય આપણે એમાં કિશનજીના હાથ નથી બાંધવા, એમને ઓશિયાળા નથી કરવા. એટલે એમના તરફથી જે આવે છે તે આપણે સ્વીકારીને આગળ ચાલવું છે, મન માને કે ના માને. એટલે ચિરાગભાઈએ એટલું પાકું કરાયેલું. અને કિશનજીની વાત કરીએ તો કિશનજીએ ઘણી બધી રીતે જતન કર્યું છે. પહેલામાં પહેલું તો કરિયરનું આપણે જોઈએ તો મને 3 સ્પેસિફિકેશન આપેલા. હું મિકેનિકલ એન્જિનિયર છું અને મને જોબ લેવાનો સમય આવ્યો ત્યારે 3 સ્પેસિફિકેશન આપેલા કે એરોસ્પેસ, ડિફેન્સ અને પછી રોબોટિક્સ. અને જોબ હમણાં જોઈએ તો જોબ બી એ સિક્વન્સમાં જ મળેલી. સૌથી પહેલી જોબ હતી તે એરોસ્પેસમાં હતી, પછી ડિફેન્સમાં ગયા યુએસ આર્મીમાં, અને હમણાં જે છે તે રોબોટિક્સમાં છે. એટલે એમણે જે ટ્રેજેક્ટરી નક્કી કરેલી એ પ્રમાણે જ બધું થયું. એથી આગળ અમુક આત્મીયતા રિલેટેડ જે વાતો છે, આત્મીયતા શબ્દ સાંભળવામાં બહુ ઇઝી લાગે, પણ જ્યારે આત્મીય થઈને વર્તવાનું આવે મંડળમાં કે બીજે બી તો ઇટ્સ વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ. પણ એ કિશનજી એકદમ ઇઝીલી એ સમજાયેલું કે આત્મીય કેવી રીતે બનાવી. અને જે હમણાં આપણે પ્રસંગમાં જોયું કે શું કરવું એ જ નથી ખબર પડતી સત્સંગમાં, કારણ કે કોઈ પ્રથમ 16-18ની વાત કરે, કોઈ નિષ્ઠાની વાત કરે, કોઈ બીજી વાત કરે, તો શું કરવું? એટલે એ કિશનજીએ ક્લિયર કરેલું 2 આજ્ઞા કરીને કે એક તો આપણે જે સેવા આવે તેમાં હા પાડવી, આપણને ગમે કે ના ગમે. અને બીજું કે આપણે આજુબાજુના જે હરિભક્તો છે આપણે જ્યારે નજીકમાં એ હરિભક્તોની આજુબાજુ હોય ત્યારે આપણે ગોખવું કે આ ભક્તો ખૂબ મોટા છે કે જે પ્રથમના 58ના વચનામૃતમાં લખેલું છે. એટલે એટલું કર્યું તો ડ્રામામાં એકચ્યુઅલી તો એનું આઉટકમ શું હતું તે ઓલરેડી બતાવ્યું છે. પણ આવું મોટા છે એવું ગોખીએ તો ક્રિટિસિઝમ જે અંદર થાય છે કે આ વ્યક્તિ આવો છે આવો છે આવો છે એ થતું બંધ થઈ જાય અથવા તો ઓછું થઈ જાય. અને બીજું જે છે કે બધી સેવામાં હા પાડીએ તો પછી ભગવાન કંટ્રોલ લે છે અને આપણા જે કેપેસિટી હોય તેને બહારનું બી કરાવડાવે છે. સો I'm 30 only and it has been my journey so far. Now I know that there will be more bigger dominoes that are waiting to fall, but I'm assured that they'll fall in the right place, and it's only because of Swamiji and Sabha. All of our journeys are different. એટલે મારી લાઈફમાં જે આ ડોમિનોસ છે એ તમારી લાઈફમાં કદાચ જુદી સિક્વન્સમાં હોઈ શકે, બટ રિગાર્ડલેસ the first domino that we should be focusing on is Sabha right here. So with that, thank you. Jai Samanvay. બધા ડોમિનો પડતા જોવા છે? જોવું તો પડશે ને કે બરાબર પડતા છે કે નહીં. ચાલો પાડીએ. સજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજ.
We hope everyone had fun tonight. Just a few announcements to wrap up. Let's thank Abhibai and let's thank the Connecticut Mandar for that drama. Big round of applause. They live 2 to 3 hours away from here, and they spent the last few weeks preparing for this drama. So a lot of efforts behind coming here and doing this for us. So let's thank them. Now, when we started the night, we started with a single domino. And it was the domino with the thought inside the pizza box. And we've come here to the end, seeing Abhibai's prasang. I'm just going to share some takeaways from tonight. The first one being, the first domino is under our control. While we cannot control every thought we have, we can choose which thoughts to act upon to kickstart a chain reaction in our lives. The second, true generosity starts with the everyday habit of adding value to others through attention, care, time, and energy, and it involves us in putting others first. Third, Swamiji's divine assurance, Tu chinta na karis, hu tari jode chehu, badu saras thai jase, is his way of giving us the strength to stand tall regardless of our circumstances. And fourth, if we take a single step towards Swamiji and Guru Hari, they will arrange the dominoes of our lives such that when they fall, the outcome that they produce is always success. Now, just a few announcements. If you've driven from a far location, as Connecticut Mandar did, then we have the Aarti that is happening now. But feel free to go downstairs. We have dinner ready. It's hot, so please go for dinner, and you can attend the Aarti after that. For the rest of us, we'll have Aarti right now. From the audience, whose birthday was it in this month of March? Raise your hand. Yeah, force your friends to raise their hand if they don't want to. Okay, beautiful. So we got a few hands. So if it was your birthday, please, we're going to have the Aarti. We'll have a few Aartis on the side for you as well. So please participate in the Aarti by coming to the front on the side. Now, with the Aarti, we've learned a lot in today's segment. But as we're doing Aarti, let's make a firm commitment that we take one step forward in this domino effect so that we can make a change and an impact in our life. One announcement, the next SYM is going to be on April 18th. So we look forward to seeing everyone there. And one last takeaway, Dominoes are won by arrangement, but life is won by trusting Swamiji's arrangement. Sajanand Swami Maharajni Jai.
Here we come, young and strong, hearts united we belong. हिम्मत से हौसले से आगे बढ़े अपनी राह पे. No